I was built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame. Yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad.
All right, boys, you ready for it? We got 2 IGN reviews this morning. Whatever the fuck this schizo shit is for girls. And we finally have Mouse PI for Hire.
I love.
Let's fucking go. It's gonna be a good day. Oh, and I also got Pragmata yesterday as well. So that unlocks tonight at, I believe, 11 p.m. Central Time. So go get your copy today if you want. You can check out my description in a video I did 2 days ago or yesterday. The review for Pragmata. I got the YouTube shopping code down there. You can go and give me some kickback from it. Don't feel obligated to, but yeah, buddy. Let's get it, boys. I hope everyone's having a great morning. Got a little extra sleep last night. Feel a little energized. Let's get it. What is this? Oh, this one looks really good. This World War I.
As I settle comfortably into my Unk arc, I found myself spending more and more
Unk
time
arc.
with
Bro, what the fuck you got one of these things for? Bro, my mom got me one of these pieces of shit. This thing is garbo. These things are known for catching on fire. Why the hell do you have this thing?
military simulations. Yes, I still enjoy the chaos and ridiculousness of modern Call of Duty, but I find myself drawn more and more to the more thoughtful approaches to warfare. The WW1 series is arguably the most realistic approach to the first-person war shooter genre on the market today, and
How many of y'all would buy a Call of Duty game if they put the multiplayer aspect on the back burner like how it used to be, and they redid, or not redid, but they made a whole new experience for World War I or World War II? Like the attack on Pearl Harbor, or like the storming D-Day. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many of y'all would buy it? I'd probably be right on board that shit. Oh, how's it going, you boy?
W1 Gallipoli coming out sometime this
Burgermeister
summer is the next entry in that long-range franchise. From my all too brief time with it on the show floor at PAX East, it might be the
what's
best
console or
WW1 game
PC?
so far.
Whoa, what is? I think if you're talking about Pragmata is gonna be on everything. Mouse PI for Hire. What is Mouse PI for Hire gonna be on? I think that's on everything as well. Yeah. That's also for everything. And then this game, I think, is PC exclusive. If I'm not mistaken, this World War II game is PC exclusive for right now. Oh, how old is this? How long is it? It's 8 minutes.
I bet you could ask anyone in the United
Damn
States.
it. Trailers right now, damn it. Reviews and all that stuff after. Oh, what's this? Whoops. How's it going in the Joymers? Right here. But coming out on PC first. Oh, Windrose. Yeah, I don't think it's on console. I think it's actually already out for PC. What really sucks is that it doesn't play very well on Steam Deck, so I can't even get it for Steam Deck. It sucks that it's... some people online have been able to get it to play for the Steam Deck, but whenever I play a computer game, I like to just lay back in my chair, and I don't like having to hook up everything into the living area. It sucks. And sitting here is fine and all, but my chair in there is way more comfy. Trying to put a mouse and keyboard in there is a pain in the ass too, so... It's a weird game. I'm gonna wait for it to get, you know... more adequate, what the fuck? This looks like, the forest. That's what this looks like. It looks like the forest. Oh, this looks almost identical to the forest. This doesn't even have any, I didn't play the forest. It's not my thing. That's later. Yeah, and that's fine. I want to play that game so bad. I want to play Windrose so bad. And I do not mind waiting. Oh, here we go.
The Earth always place looks so blue.
Down there, every place has its own kind of color.
You know everything about the Earth, don't you? I want to go too.
We all know that's not how that shit would look by the time we get to the moon. That shit gonna be gray, it's gonna be worn out, and it's gonna be dead.
You have to help me. Please. There's no time.
Oh, morning, Winters. How's it going? How's it going?
You're here.
It's bone anger.
The bots, these trees, everything went out of control. As Pragmata, we're equipped with the ability to override a system's programming.
You know what's crazy? Is that the idea of using a little girl is not the only time this has come up in pop culture to symbolize an AI or a droid in some way, shape, or form. The original Resident Evils had that for the Allison house. You would see like references to the little girl popping up everywhere, and then she had like that holographic form, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not the first time. It's why it's so shocking to me that a lot of the Karens on the internet are so up in arms against it, and it kind of blows my mind a little bit.
Stop Edith together.
We'll shut Edith down, and then
Epstein
we'll head to her.
AI. Oh no!
We'll get you out of there. Thank you.
And so it has begun!
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Man, I can already feel the copyright. Damn it, I completely fucking spaced out. Damn it! Yo, and that's another reason why I'm happy I'm not playing games anymore on stream. The entire, I watched a streamer play the entire Crimson Desert. Well, like a few sections of Crimson Desert. He didn't beat the game, but every stream that he did of Crimson Desert got demonetized. Every single one of them. And you know what's crazy? The last game I played was Death Stranding 2. Every single one of them demonetized, 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 demonetized. And I'm like, God damn. It took me a total of like 13 hours of waiting and allowing YouTube to edit it in order for it to be monetized. It was ridiculous, bro. And what hurts about it is it's not so much of the, oh, well, I'll watch it and then give the creator money. No, it's the fact that when it becomes demonetized, YouTube doesn't push it in the algorithm at all. So it dies. It just dies, man. That's right, boys. What the fuck is... Dude, what is this? Bro, I found the game...
To welcome you to our research and development branch, fondly known as the family. Your job will be to source the finest in locally sourced ingredients for our brews. There are many fantastic benefits to working here. We have pet-friendly workspaces, the best-in-class bus-to-work scheme.
Oh, it's another,
Be a part of our thriving, vibrant company culture.
It's another one like,
Travel to new, exciting places.
Lethal Company.
Safe in the knowledge that we always got your back.
Damn, low-key, this game looks kind of crazy. Huh. Hazard levels, huh? Oh, this is that game that was inspired by Asmongold. Yeah, Asmongold inspired this game. It's like a MMO roguelike. Oh, single player. I didn't know that. Hmm. That animal game is probably going to be good. It's going to be the new YouTuber slop. Watch. It actually does look really good, though. But watch nobody play it. I played Lethal Company. Lethal Company was boring, bro. Yo, W Mouse PI for hire.
Some falls don't begin in the sky. They begin
Willie!
in quiet rooms with friendly voices and fondue bottles. Mine started a few weeks back. The sky was just the exit wound. It began with a call. Routine. Familiar. Wanda from the Mouseburg Herald. Usually she swings by the office with a lead. If it pans out, she hears it first. Simple, really. She gets her story, I get a few bucks to stockpile cheese, and for a moment...
There is one TV show, and you guys are going to think this is cringy as shit. There's one TV show that'll hit this spot for you if you're looking for a detective-style, superhero-style, like, show. If you can get your hands on it, it's Kamen Rider Double. A lot of y'all don't know what Kamen Rider is, but those of y'all who do, look up Kamen Rider Double. Look for the W. That show is so good, and it's got like the detective style theme to it. It's such a good show. It's a little corny, right? It comes across as a kid's show, but it's not. Kamen Rider is what led to the birth of the Power Rangers. But there's a lot of death in Kamen Rider. There's a lot of death in the original Power Rangers movie shows too. Not a lot of people know that, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you ever get the chance and you ever get the ability, try to get your hands on Kamen Rider Double. Best show, hands down. You will not be disappointed with Kamen Rider Double.
Mouseburg gets to breathe easy. But that day was different. She was tight-lipped. Meat on sight, details later. Had to be someone big. Recognizable. The kind that only says, oops, when they remember their mortal too. Something within me, old instinct maybe, said turn back. Let this one go. That this case was more trouble than it was worth. But, well, trouble is what I do.
Yo, W Mouse PI for hire. Let's go. We got the review for that pulled up on the next page, boys. Man, Troy Baker has outdone himself, seriously. Damn, look at all this stuff. We got a behind the scenes of Phantom Blade Zero as well. Yo, man, I woke up to Christmas this morning. Spaceballs! The new one. Really? Are they making a new Spaceballs? Dude, let's go. Why the hell would you buy a game like Pragmata for the Nintendo Switch? Why? Bro, you might as well just make a bonfire with your Switch. You get more use out of it. What is this? No shot. Did I close one? No, I didn't. Let's finish watching this World War II one.
States to name the major powers involved in the Second World War, and they'd easily list off the Axis and Allied powers. If you changed it up, though, to ask about the First World War, plenty of Americans would have a much harder time. Personally, I didn't learn much about World War I in school, other than the story that
How's it going, James Cook?
Saved the day. The reality of World War I is so much more interesting and complex. In short, the entire system of human civilization at the time was completely upended. These weren't just countries fighting other countries. These were empires.
No, like they were. See, like a lot of people don't understand this. These were empires that had been bombed into dust, and they had to dig trenches because there was no more cover. But you understand that that's the reason why trench warfare was such a big thing, is because all their buildings had been blown literally into dust, and they had to dig into the ground to get cover. Like that's how brutal this war was.
Monarchies at war, ruled by
Not a lot of people think of it like that. They're like, oh, it's just trench warfare. Why did they have the trenches? It's because all the buildings were blown the fuck up.
And kings. The days of war as a great gentleman's adventure were violently ended as bodies stacked up in the face of new and horrible mechanized ways of killing never before seen. The fallout from World War I, or as it was known then, the Great War, shaped the entirety of the 20th century and still affects us even today. World War II may have been the bloodiest, costliest conflict in the history of humanity, but even that world...
This was the most brutal because of all the razor wire, all of the machine guns, the invention of the trench tank. Like, you understand that World War I shaped the world that we know today. It made America the superpower that it is because after World War I, we just started making military weapons and advancing our technology, and we literally never stopped.
Contest was the direct result of the events of the First World War. The WW1 game series' commitment to accuracy, while deftly weaving in gameplay elements to make it fun, is one of the things that drew me into WW1 Izanzo, the most recent game in the series. I actually wasn't familiar with it until I got the invitation to check out Gallipoli. I ended up loving it so much, I bought the entire series and expansion content during the spring sale. What up, spring sale? Thanks, Gabe. First thing I noticed...
So there's a series to this? So this isn't the only one.
WW1 Gallipoli compared to Izanzo is just how much better it looks. Granted, Izanzo is now...
Bro, it's so weird. It's so weird to think that a lot of Americans and a lot of other countries in World War I use the revolver because they didn't have to worry about it jamming and all that dirt. That's such a weird thing to think about, isn't it? Because, like, as long as we've been or had people in the military, it's been, the 1911. But, like, they didn't have that then. Well, they did, but not until, like, later.
4-year-old game, but the foreboding cliffs...
So, like, a lot more people were able to get their hands on the revolver.
...coast are visually much improved over the previous entries in the series. The trenches scraped into the hardened earth of the peninsula have an unevenness that makes them feel more alive in spite of the horrors of the trench warfare. As someone who dealt with soil in that part of the world during my time in the Air Force, I was really impressed by just how much the graphics mirrored the behavior of the trenches.
Flamethrowers? Yeah, flamethrowers were a big... Oh, man. Flamethrowers are a big no-no now. They didn't give a fuck, bro. They just wanted to win. They were willing to do whatever it took to win. If that meant flaming out a bunker, then that's what it took. Like, these people were literally fighting for their fucking lives. They did whatever they had to do.
Into that hard ground. I want to reiterate, I experienced it in the most 21st century way.
I just love... You see, this is what blows my mind with warfare today. Oh, that's a war crime. Nah, bitch, it's survival. Why do you think we made the bombs? Why do you think we made nukes, man? We had to vaporize the other race of people before they did it to us. Say, we fought for survival in a war. You kidding me?
Diesel-powered equipment.
What is
I can't
this
even
shit?
imagine digging those trenches by hand. The battlefield itself is recreated using
Top of the morning, humans.
Another modern technique that ensures
Love it.
accuracy
Yosan.
in every crag and nook along the coast. If you've played as Zonzo, you know that sometimes the terrain has a decidedly textured polygon look, but that was largely absent from my experience with Gallipoli. There are also new classes available in WW1 Gallipoli.
I've heard horror stories from them using napalm, though. That was one of the things we covered in my EMT. They talked about, like, stories of hearing from soldiers of, like, I don't know how. I don't think I should talk about it. I think it's too graphic. I think that's a community guideline strike. If anything, I shouldn't talk about that. But let's just say that it would be like if you picked up chicken and you squeezed the chicken in order to, like, drag someone across the dirt. That's how their legs would react.
Ammo bearer, bomber.
Got to be
heavy
vague about that one.
machine gunner, and
It would
stretcher
just fall off the bone.
bearer. I played in the light machine gunner class, which developer Black Mill Games describes as similar to
Yes,
assault.
sir. Hope all is well with you.
Ammo bearer and
Oh, you said
stretcher
that
bearer are
wrong.
support roles and can be set up
Yeah.
differently.
I gotta be careful how graphic I am with that one. That one's definitely a problematic one to talk about.
How you like to play.
There's a reason why napalm is so bad to use, because you don't have to worry about it necessarily killing you. It's the after effects that are just awful.
Well, the stretcher bearer lets you either heal teammates from your backpack, or you can choose faster heal speeds and additional medic crates to help your down squad mates in the action. I played as an Australian soldier tasked with
It's because of the kids on the internet, bro. That's what I'm telling you. You generate this online ID, you're gonna see a lot of content creators going back to saying some brutal shit online. Promise you. These damn kids.
storming the beaches to take control of the battlefield.
And you know what sucks is that a lot of them already know about this kind of shit. But for whatever reason, we gotta act like they don't. Bro, you sending a kid to public school, I guarantee you whatever I'm gonna say is gonna be anything as bad as what they're gonna be saying.
Again, the game
Promise
does not
you.
shy away from putting you into the thick
Bullshit.
of the authentic WW1 experience. Whereas D-Day's first charges launched out of mechanized landing craft, the start of the campaign I played at PAX East had the Aussies rowing into shore. Yes, rowboats. One of the funniest things about playing at the convention was how many people stopped in their tracks as they passed the WW1 Gallipoli booth to remark incredulously on rowing into a wasp hive of machine gun fire.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. We need more games like this, man. I want to see more games like the beaches of Normandy, bro. That's what the fuck we need. I want to see that kind of shit. That's what I want.
Needless to say, I did not make it to shore with the rest of my company, but I was able to stand on the beach.
He died. Bro, it's the worst if you play like Call of Duty World at War and you're storming the beaches of Normandy and you put that bitch in the hardest difficulty, bro. You can't even get out of the boat. I remember the first 10 minutes of me just standing up out of the animation, I just immediately dropped dead. And I'm like, God damn, this sucks.
Another improvement in WW1 Gallipoli compared to the last entry is you could just give up now. You no longer need to spam for help as you bleed out. If it looks like no one's gonna help you, you can just push F and nope right back to the nearest spawn point.
Oh
Took me a
no.
little while to get used to my role as a machine gunner. In spite of my time with the Zonzo, I still ran in like I was in a COD match, which I was not at all. The commitment to realism means more than just everything looks the part, because everything acts the part too. For example, hip firing a WW1 era machine gun, yeah, good luck with that. It's impossible to aim, flinging the barrel up randomly in a way that's impossible to compensate for. For me to lay down...
You know why that is? That's because you got a character that's untrained and he's a pussy. That's why. He's a pussy. That's why. You gotta get somebody up in there like, what's his face from The Predator? The sexual Tyrannosaurus, what's his name? I I can't never think of his name, like the actual character name.
Fire meant I either had to crouch or lay prone, then set my machine gun up on its bipod. But once I did, oh baby, did that feel good. You gain experience from laying down suppressive fire, so even during times when I wasn't close enough to any of the enemy to...
Blaine Cooper. Played by Jesse Ventura. That's who you need.
I'm still able to help my team by pinning our opponents down in their trenches. There's something extra satisfying about seeing all those experience points popping up on screen while you also help the squad gain ground. Another commitment
Thank you. I try sometimes.
Realism is how you can't really lone wolf it in WW1 Gallipoli. Teamwork is crucial to success here, which is how
apparently Jesse Ventura was hard to work with, or one of the cast was hard to work with, from what I understand.
First-person shooters should be.
Was there any actor on the set of Predator?
Do you know how many team-based COD matches I've played where 90% of the team is running around like it's team deathmatch? Do you know how often I've unmuted my mic to remind people to capture the objective? It's gotta be in the thousands, maybe billions. However, my time with Azonzo bodes well for my future time with Gallipoli, as the players drawn to this type of game do the craziest thing.
So Sonny Landham, who played Billy, was notoriously difficult, requiring the studio to hire bodyguards to protect the crew from his volatile behavior, sorry. Apparently, Jean-Claude Van Damme was fired early on for being a relentless complainer, refusing to stop trying to kickbox and hating the original uncomfortable costume design. That's crazy. So apparently, Jean-Claude Van Damme, if he hadn't been such a little bitch about it, would have been part of the Predator movie. That's crazy. Holy shit.
They actually work together towards capturing or defending the battlefield. A friend of mine described the WW1 series as digital World War I LARPing, and you know what? Yeah. In the excitement, I found myself yelling, "On to the next, chaps!" in spite of several things. First of all, no one was around who could hear me other than the Blackmill Games CEO. I don't think there were any actual players in my match, just bots. And also, I was playing an Aussie, not a stiff-lipped Tommy from the British Isles. My time with WW1 Gallipoli was not nearly enough, but I am happy to say we did capture the full battlefield and won the match. Afterwards, I was shown one of the cool little touches in Gallipoli's improvised grenades. The real things were made from tin cans stuffed with gunpowder and a fuse. In the game, each homemade hand grenade, can grenade, has a different entirely fictional label on it. It's just
Bro, it's a can. Yeah, of course. That's what they did back then, man. They did whatever they could to live.
Can grenade has a different entirely fictional label on it. It's just another one of those little touches, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to fling explosive tins of haggis at my foes this summer when WW1 Gallipoli officially releases.
Yo, W. That's a damn good start, bro. Hell yeah. All right. Phantom Blade Zero. So if you don't know what the mojo behind this one is, it's a Souls-like, but every time you die, you have a certain amount of days in which to beat the game. And every time you die, that's 24 hours gone. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably not gonna play this game. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. The fact that you have a certain amount of days in which to beat the game, and every time you die, that is a one less day where you're gonna be forced to restart the entire game. I don't think that's a good mechanic. I don't think that's a good mechanic at all. Though the enemies don't respawn, but it doesn't matter if the entire game respawns. No, that's not okay.
比如说我们说的这个舞狮，咱们去年也一起去深圳去拜访了这舞狮大师，当然只是一个模糊的一个理念。
I like the idea and the look of the game, though.
真的把它做到战斗里面去了。
That's so cool, dude. I love this culture.
舞狮的动作，似像非像的神情。
I would love to visit. I think this is Japan. I don't want to be an ass. I don't want to sound like an ass. I think this is Japan. I would love to actually attend Japan, like a festival like this.
不能够完全把它就做成一个4条腿的狮子，因为它下面是2个人。 它就同时拥有了远程的大型的怪物、大型 BOSS 的一种战斗的风格。但是
Have you never played a Souls-like before? That's all Souls-likes, man. Souls-likes are really good. The trick is whenever you get enough that you can level, just go and level. You also get a lot of inventory items that give you a little extra souls that you know, help you get past that that cusp so that way you can level.
近距离的时候，它又体现出人形 BOSS 的一个风格，比如说前面那个人就会
Oh,
飞起来
Beastie!
用
How's
两条
going,
腿踢
Beastie?
那么这些东西结合起来，就会发现出现了一种在整个的动作游戏领域都有点耳目一新的一种体验。然后还有一个就是包括我们这次 TGA 大家非常喜欢的，我们里面有一个角色是
What's nice about Souls-like is that it's probably the only games out there that will allow you to feel overpowered. Every other game is designed for it to be a balanced experience, which is just fucking annoying. Souls-likes, you can get a really badass big sword and then level your character and just become insanely overpowered. And that's what I love about Souls-likes.
醉酒剑法。
No, I can't translate.
那么醉拳这个元素呢，其实在过去的武侠片里、功夫片里，其实我们是见过很多的，其实是一种标志性的一种浪漫情怀的中
So that's the person I gotta find and slap if I don't like that boss, okay.
国武打文化
See, I like
的
this
一种
mocap
浪漫表
stuff.
达吧。那么我
I
们
could put a face behind the annoyance.
做了一个这样的 BOSS， 他就是能够不断的通过喝酒来积攒他的某个能量，醉了以后呢，他的身法也比较飘忽不定，他的攻击也比较飘忽不定，他的剑会从各种意想不到的方向打过来。
That enemy
更
just
加
looks so
巧妙的
annoying.
就是说，我们如果击败了这个 BOSS， 我们还可以获得他的使出最剑的能力。那么玩家也可以在极限的时候进行各种非常灵活的躲闪，之后进行反击，而一切看起来好像都是东倒西歪的那种醉醺醺的，但却形成了一种又醉又优雅的一种战斗的风格。好像你在
Is he drunk?
重新创造
Oh, so you could like take that ability to get drunk and become erratic. Huh.
游戏，重新创造所有的动作游戏的模板。而这些模板一创造出来，大家看哇，
That's
一点都不突兀，一点都不觉得违和。因为这些东西、这些动作都是已经深入我们骨髓里面的一种浪漫情怀。我们就常说武侠，对吧？它其实有两个层次，一个是武，一个是侠。那武是什么呢？武就是外在表现，就是所谓的动作。这个武打的表达，我们去年的时候应该是探访了很多门派。然后回到咱们这动捕棚里面来，把它转化成游戏的数据。其实我们今年又有更多的这样的研究和发掘，就是如何把中国的传统的这种武术，还有传统的武侠。
That's insane to see the director getting his hands dirty. Like that is insane that he's that in tune with the direction of the entire game that he's in there actually doing what he's supposed to be doing and leading by example. Yo, director.
功夫电影里面的一些表达方式，能够用到游戏上来。我们刚刚说的是武的层面，那么武侠，其侠的层面当然是更重要的。武是外显，那么侠是内在。如果用一句话来描述侠的话呢，我觉得侠他的精神就在于，哪怕是自己深陷困境，他首先要想到的是他人，他首先要想到的是为天下的苍生，就是点亮一盏灯。
Yo, look at that.
去年的时候我们说过，就是主角说寻找我的心，它有两层含义。第一个，他物理上他的心受伤了嘛。那么江湖里面是不是还有些方式可以救他呢？是不是还可以我用这66天，是不是能找到医治我的这个新的方式？
That would be cool.
这个是第一层，拯救我的肉体。第二个其实是更重要的，就是说拯救我的灵魂。因为这个主角他是一个组织里面的高手了，他 前半生一直都在给这个组织去征战四方。
I'm actually kind of surprised that Mortal Kombat hasn't done that yet. They could have Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee. I'm kind of surprised that Mortal Kombat hasn't done that yet, honestly. If anyone's going to do it and pull it off and do justice for it, I feel like it'd be a Mortal Kombat game.
命题就是说，之前那样是活了很长的时间，但是之前那样算不算真正的活着？因为你是作为一个工具，你是作为一个组织去征战四方的一个棋子，你要杀谁，你要救谁，可能并不是由你自己来决定的。那么在最后的66天，他就想自己真正的活一次，自己真正的活66天，要自己践行自己心中的侠义之道。因为侠它实际上就代表什么？它代表的是平民中涌现出来的英雄，草根精神的英雄。
Please, take it. Save our.
那么这个我觉得
Bo Rai Chow is awesome.
就是他要寻找
Not a lot of people know who Bo Rai Chow is from the original Mortal Kombat games, but I'm like one of those old dogs that played like the original Mortal Kombat games. Bo Rai Chow is an interesting character. I'll say that. He's definitely interesting. He, what was it, like the drunken fist that he uses? He's a big chunky dude that drinks a gourd, drinks out of I think it's like wine out of a gourd, and you can choose between what style he is. And that's the old Mortal Kombat. They don't do that anymore. Now it's just like, oh, get in and play. But back then when they had to actually have meat and bones to the game, you could switch between stances, and you would be able to choose the Drunken Fists or his standard combat.
出现当年那个一腔热血的少年。
Yeah, he pukes on the floor too, so people slip on it. Dude, I forgot about that.
还没有被这个武林磨去棱角也好，或是被这武林异化也好，之前的那个赤子之心，我觉得这个可能也是我们想传达出来的侠的这样的一个主题吧。
I think there was one where he like picks up the character and he like, you know, grabs them by their legs after they slip on the puke, and you can like circle around, right? You do like a 180 and then you throw them. Something like that, right? Man, those older games were so good.
我们如果是玩过很多 ARPG 或者 RPG 游戏的玩家，就会非常了解支线和主线。我们永远有一条主线任务，然后去。
I don't know how people play arcade games, bro. That shit pisses me off because it's designed for you to fail and spend more money. I don't know how some people got so good at playing those things. Dude, I would get so frustrated so quick.
你的恩怨也好，要解决你自己的事情，那么
I'd be getting kicked out for putting a hole in the damn thing. I'm not even kidding. I am not even kidding.
理解为那是主线。那么在支线，你肯定会在你的这一路中会遇到一些萍水相逢的其他的人。那么其他人会有其他的故事，你是他故事里的一个过客。也就是说，你在帮助别人的过程中，就是有点像蝴蝶效应，扇起了一个翅膀。那么你在行侠仗义的过程中，你有可能会对你自己的主线，对你自己的爱恨情仇的故事发生一些影响。那么在这影响之下呢
Whoa, what the fuck? What is that thing?
情仇的故事发生一些影响。
That kind of looks like the Reaper from Diablo, Reaper of Souls.
那么在这影响之下呢，你就会发现，那你只要是按你的侠义之道去行事，你只要做好这些事情，你会发现，它整个就会有一个更加宏观的影响。我觉得这个可能也是一个很有禅意的一种解读吧。你是谁，取决于你做的所有的事情。然后你只要是坚持一个原则去做了所有的事情。
I need to find the soundtrack to this game. I need to find the soundtrack. The soundtrack to this game is fucking awesome.
这些看起来没有关联的事情，就会结合起来，影响到你是谁，并且影响到你后面的事情进展。接下来我们肯定就是努力的完成，把这个游戏
So I wonder how do they offset the balance to this? Because if you die too many times, it resets the whole game, right? So like, do you keep your levels if the game resets? Like, how does that work? Because, like, something has to offset it. Is it like a total wipe of the character? How does that work?
磨到我们满意的程度，我们希望在我们的能力范围内呢，给玩家呈现足够精彩的产品。那这肯定是目前最重要的工作。在尹真灵的 TGA 的预告片里面，一个大侠救出一个火场中的婴儿，救出这个婴儿了以后，这个婴儿成长为新的大侠，就是我们的主角。而在现实世界上，我们就像那个孩子，就像那个襁褓里的婴儿，以前的创作者传承下来的养育、成长的一个孩子。我们从小就是看这些武侠电影啊，看这些功夫片长大的，受到这种文化的熏陶和影响，最后呢，传承了这份精神。我希望把这精神用新的载体传播下去，向全球观众、全球的玩家打造一张新的名片。像最早的时候，李小龙把功夫这个词拿到了好莱坞，然后现在功夫、康复，这甚至都已经变成了一个普通的英文单词。我觉得，如果我们能够做到这一点，不管最后的商业的结果是怎么样
Jesus, man, how the fuck?
能够做到这一点。
Look at that. That's nightmare fuel, bro. I'm getting PTSD just by looking at that. Bro, the whole fucking screen. That's all you get. What the fuck?
最后的商业的结果是怎么样的？我觉得我们都已经取得了我们自己所认为的成功。
Is that it? That's it. That's it right there, boy. Here we go. We got the Mouse PI review, boys. Let's go. There will most likely be a link in the description of this video as well to get your copy of the game and give me some of that little kickback that I get for that. W viewers, by the way. W viewers.
I'll take all kinds.
I'm gonna play the shit out of this game when it comes out. I gotta get through Pragmata first. Then I'm gonna play the shit out of this game. I'll play this game like crazy. It's supposed to be like a Doom style game, by the way. If y'all are wondering what the heck's going on with it, it's supposed to be a Doom style game.
The hard-boiled detective, the seedy crime story, neo-noir, classic pulp, you name it, I'm buying.
Okay.
So when Mouse PI for Hire sauntered onto my screen the way Ilsa walks into Rick's in Casablanca, I was pretty excited about it. But noir isn't just an aesthetic to be thrown on like an old coat as you're leaving your office at the behest of a leggy blonde. While Mouse PI for Hire clearly understands the style and tropes of classic noir films and novels as well as 1930s cartoons.
What y'all think the score is gonna be for this? What y'all think the score gonna be for this? We got, I'm gonna say 9. I'm gonna say 8. I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna say 4. 4. There we go. What y'all think? I think it's gonna be an 8. I think they're gonna try and go an 8. I think it's gonna be an 8. They're gonna try and stay in that new middle ground that they've made now. Let's see. Say if you think it's 7, just do 6. Just do the closest one. Like round down if you think they're gonna do it at a low thing. Well, how's it going, Dr. Luke the Goat? Damn, a lot of y'all saying 6. Whew, it should be at an 8, but we all know what IGN's gonna do. I ain't even gotta say it, boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It looking kind of rough. Looking kind of rough. Damn. Damn. Oof, that's rough. We ain't got to keep going with the poll. I think that's good enough. I think we all know what they're gonna do. 6? Y'all say 6? All right, I'll go with 6.
More broadly,
So,
it doesn't
6,
seem to get
7,
why those
round
things
6,
are
7.
there, or how they're used to
Get
tell
it, 6,
compelling
7.
stories. By fusing a hard-boiled detective mystery with a fast, retro-styled FPS, developer Fumi Games has made a shooter that is thematically incoherent, with the apparent aspirations of its story contradicted at every point by the actual action. Of all the Steam libraries and all the PCs and all the world,
One of the reasons why I did 8 is because I noticed since the start of this year, last year, their go-to was 7 when they didn't know and they wanted to play it safe. I think this year they raised it by 1, so it's 8 now. That's why I said 8. But we'll see. I think it might be low.
Mouse PI for Hire walked into mine, and I wish I liked it more than I do.
It's over. You got nowhere left to run.
I run toward the dream! A bright future ruled by big mice!
Mouse follows Jack Pepper, a private eye in a world where everyone is a mouse, after Wanda Fuller from the Mouseburg Herald.
W. Troy Baker, dude. W. Troy Baker.
I'm on the case of a missing
Another
magician.
banger.
I can give you more than a crumb, Jack. I can give you a magician.
As you'd expect, that spirals into a much bigger conspiracy that includes an attempt on a mayoral candidate's life and racially motivated mouse-on-mouse violence as bigger mice oppress the smaller shrews.
My buddy got nabbed for just being a shrew!
Same as it ever was, even in Mouseburg, and the requisite twists and turns you'd expect from any good detective story make this tale solid enough.
I was in too deep. Way deeper than I signed up for.
I can already feel the message seeping through from the Karens on the internet. There's not enough diversity! This show's racism!
What bothers me, however, is how overly referential so much of it is. The world is full of mice, so everything is about cheese. Everything. A bad guy? He's a cheese-legger.
These cheese-leggers in on the shrew.
I love it.
Run into a lady mouse with a sultry voice? It'll be described as
Gorgonzola picante slapped on a mozzarella platter.
someone new to assure you they're telling the truth.
Swear on my mama's cottage curds!
This is charming initially, then it never stops. Everything is a reference to the fact that everyone is a mouse and mice like cheese, and when it's not, instead it'll be a reference to an old cartoon, or the fact that this is a video game.
When you jump, just act like you didn't.
I should have probably guessed the former when one of the first things I saw was a steamboat named Willie, but at least that and the reference-heavy power-ups are cute.
Hey!
Constant callbacks to classic films or other video games? Not so much.
That's just like Doom. I bet this has a bunch of Easter egg and hidden areas just like Doom does.
It doesn't end there. A boss fight in the sewers? It's a literal alligator because of course it is. If you're looking for the cheese-liking foreman, Jack will quip that he doesn't look like much of a boss.
More like a mini-boss.
And then laugh at his own joke. The voice actors, led by Troy Baker, do an admirable job with what they have, but nothing in Mouseburg is allowed to just...
Here we go. Here we go.
be. It has to be a mouse reference or a literally cheesy one-liner.
Cheddar. What's wrong with Gouda?
No Gouda if you broke, Jack.
Or a reference to something else.
Ticket seller. I'm going on a perilous journey, so I need your strongest tickets.
It's hard to care about anything in Mouse PI for Hire because it never stops making jokes.
No, it's because you're dead inside, man. That's why. It's because you're dead inside. Is your job really that bad that you can't just have a little fun playing a game, bro? See, like, this is what I was always scared of whenever I was doing, like, YouTube and like, doing the game stuff. Whenever it starts feeling like a job and less like you're having fun, like, bro, you need to go on and take a vacation, bro.
About everything.
Here's Jacko.
It just wants to remind you of other better things. Surely that's enough.
They just can't enjoy anything, dude.
Right?
Time to find someone higher up and squeeze until they...
Let's go, Alec.
At least the shooting is better. This is the latest in a wave of boomer shooters inspired by old school FPSs like Doom or Quake, and it's a decent one at that. You start with a pistol in Jack's fists, but you'll soon acquire a shotgun, dynamite, a James gun, which is just a Tommy gun, and more unique stuff like the Devarnisher, which shoots what looks like Elmer's glue that melts the flesh from your enemy's bones, leaving only a skeleton. Throw in stuff like a double jump, dash, spinning tail for hovering, and a slide, and Jack's got...
What? You get, like, tails? You can, like, fly like tails?
Throw in stuff like a double jump, dash, spinning tail for hovering, and a slide.
So this is like Doom Eternal. This is a lot like Doom Eternal, where you get more and more upgrades through the majority of the game. That's really cool. I
Jack's
love that
got some
idea.
stylish moves when the bad guys show up. This ain't Quake, but it does feel good. It doesn't hurt that all of it, from reload animations to random conversations, is rendered in an absolutely gorgeous black and white mix of sprite work and 3D models. The world building may be thin, but Mouse PI for Hire is still dressed to the nines. Even here, though, I have issues. Weapons can feel weak, especially the shotgun. It's got the audio kick of a pop gun, and there's a strange disconnect to seeing something that sounds like a kid's toy.
It's like Doom, bro. They want you to use a bunch of different guns. That's what they want you to do. They don't want you to sit there and get through the entire game with a shotgun. They added all these guns into the game. They want you to utilize them all. The one critique that I had with Doom Eternal was the fact that I never had any fucking ammo. That was the one problem I had with Doom Eternal. And I always had to like literally clean out my entire fucking gun inventory before I was willing to chainsaw anything, because I knew that I wasn't gonna get like another thing of chainsaw for a while unless I upgrade it. It's supposed to be a Doom-like, guy. Like, what do you expect? Just imagine you've got an entire development team that goes and puts hours into making new, like, cool-looking guns for some dickhead to sit there and use the shotgun the entire game. Shit's annoying.
Blow off
Come
some
on,
of
man.
Mouse's head as you paint the white of the world with black ichor that spews from his neck. Enemies mostly come out of doors.
I love the reload animation, dude. I love how he just takes a fistful of fucking shotgun shells and slaps it into the side of the shotgun.
White of the world with
Like,
black
don't waste
ichor
my
that
time, just put the bullets in the gun and keep firing. I love, it's not even like in the right spot either. Like, I love it.
Enemies mostly come out of doors marked with a skull that you can't enter, robbing these areas of anything remotely resembling a sense of place. Levels also really like to pull the "we're gonna lock you in a room and throw baddies at you until they're dead or you are" shtick a little too much for my taste. None of this is game-breaking. The combat is fundamentally good enough to carry you to the end of the...
I hate to break it to you, but there isn't a single game out there, other than maybe Pragmata, that has come out with new innovative ideas that are new to the gaming genre. You know why? Because most of them have already been found, discovered, or made. Hate to break it to you, guy.
Roughly 12-hour campaign, but sometimes it feels like being at a show that's never quite bad enough to leave. And at least on the normal difficulty, health items are so generous there's rarely a challenge. Like any good boomer shooter, there are plenty of secrets to find: newspapers, weapon upgrades, schematics, baseball cards, and so on. Fragile walls to blow up, and even locked safes to open with your tail, which...
I noticed dude didn't just say that. I noticed dude didn't just say that on normal mode. Health items are plentiful. Yeah, that's the point, man. What do you want about? What do you mean? It's normal. And even still, why would you want it to be hard to find health? That's just stressful, man. I play a game to de-stress. Now, I'll play it in a harder difficulty, yeah. But, like, what did you expect? You're playing in normal, guy. Like, what?
And so on. Fragile walls to blow up, and even locked safes to open with your tail, which pulls double duty as a lockpick. Some of these locks are on a time limit, or must be solved...
Like, if you play a game in normal, there are mechanics in the game that you'll never even be forced to use. Like, why would you play a game in normal? Like, I get that if you're just trying to relax and enjoy it, but if you're gonna sit there and make that a critiquing point, you're a jackass. What do you mean? You can't critique a game because of a difficulty your pussy ass put it in. How? How did you come to that?
Limited number of moves, and you only get one shot at the good stuff they hold. Others are so easy you could probably solve them by letting an actual mouse run across your keyboard. It's very jarring. Once you're done with the level, it's back to the hub, which encompasses Jack's office, the local bar, store, weapon upgrade shop, and so on. My favorite thing here is the baseball card minigame.
Yeah, not everything has to be
hardcore. Switch between
hardcore.
pitching and being at bat, and using the cards in your hand, players and abilities, to try to score as many runs as you can. It's fun.
That's really cool. So there's like a baseball card game. You know they're gonna make some board games out of this.
What I like less is the whole being a detective thing, mostly because I never actually got to do it. Any clues you find will be pinned to Jack's caseboard, and once you get them there, Jack will just intuit where to go. No work on your part required. What's the point of being a gumshoe if all the answers are handed right to me?
Better check it out. It began with a call.
It looks like it's just a way to progress the story. I mean, that's what it looks like. It doesn't look like you're supposed to sit there and try to like, oh, well, this is connected to that and that is connected to this. Dude, that shit's annoying. That's like inventory management. It's fun at first, but then it's just super stupid and annoying.
Routine. Familiar.
That brings me to one of my major problems with Mouse PI for Hire. Look, I hate to be that guy who brings up ludonarrative dissonance in a video game review in the year of our Lord 2026, and if you're rolling your eyes right now, I can't blame you, but it's an actual issue here. Jack Pepper is a PI who kills more people in a single mission than Philip Marlowe has in every book Raymond Chandler ever wrote combined. I don't care how corrupt the cops are. A private detective can't break into a police station and slaughter them en masse and then go
I know we ain't about to get a lecture from IGN on what you can and can't do in a fucking video game. I know that shit ain't happening to me right now. I know that ain't just happened to me. You playing a game about a motherfucking mouse that can use its tail to fly, that holds guns and shoots acid, and that's your critique, man. You worried about him rolling up in the middle of a police station and killing a bunch of corrupt cops. Bruh. And they want to say we's the one lost in the sauce?
about his day. In one particularly nonsensical scenario, Jack inadvertently burns down an opera house to save a guy running for mayor, and he ends up fighting an opera singer and shoots her. Is she dead? Did I just kill an actress for being angry I burned down her workplace? If I didn't, have I left her alive and unconscious inside a burning building?
Well, Billy still did get blown to Kingdom Come.
Mouse shouldn't have done it. Seems to me like she was attacking you. Well, if you feel so strongly about it, then why didn't you let her kill you? I mean, obviously you have a problem with it, so why didn't you let her kill you? Why'd you shoot her? I mean, you chose to shoot her. You could have just let her kill you. I mean, why even progress the story? What's the point? If you feel so morally bad for doing this, why progress the story?
PI for Hire doesn't tell me.
What is this?
Seem to care either way.
Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
Like, seriously, what the fuck is this?
Noir cannot or should not be violent, but the violence usually has a purpose. Much of Elliot Chase's
Hey, you know what the purpose is? That dude's about to beat your fucking ass. That dude about to kill you, dummy. You know what the purpose is? To prevent that fat fuck from killing you. What do you mean it has to have a purpose? What do you mean? Bro! Oh, the dissonance here is insane! What do you... Dude. Bro, it might be lower than a 6. They may have ranked this lower than a 6, boys.
Violent, but the violence usually has a purpose. Much of Elliot Chase's seminal novel Black Wings Has My Angel is about robbing an armored car, but the book builds to that. It's a big deal when it finally happens, and the characters have to reckon with the fallout once it does. Jack Pepper, on the other hand, is a walking catastrophe, and nobody in Mouseburg seems to care. He largely gets to go about his business and is portrayed as a down-on-his-luck everyman PI, like the characters who inspired him, when he is, at best, a mass murderer.
You implying something, Mr. Pepper?
Me? Imply? Never. I just connect the dots.
Does that make for a more fun video game? Maybe. But it's bad and
What do you mean, maybe? Did you have fun playing the game or not, dipshit? This is your review. What do you mean, maybe? The only person that can answer this is you!
And a worse detective tale. In the story as Mouse PI for Hire references, violence is an unfortunate but unavoidable part of the human experience that shatters the people it touches. Here, it's just entertainment, and that weakens the whole concept. But Will, you might say, this is a goofy Looney Tunes FPS. Why should I care about any of that? And the answer is because Mouse wants you to. It wants you to believe that this is important. You spend a lot of time talking about these characters, about putting together the clues you need to get to the bottom of what's going on, about Jack's motivation for doing the work. He allegedly needs the money, which both leads him to taking cases and doesn't track when I'm super rich from all the killing.
Nonsense. You're drowning in debt, picking up small fries and petty cases.
All of that makes a lot less sense after you've gone to Tinsel Bros Studios and single-handedly eradicated the mob hanging out there, all while doing a bunch of Tomb Raider / Indiana.
I mean, shit, I don't know about you, but a detective that goes to a mob hideout and kills all the mob members, I mean, shit, that sounds like a pretty badass game to me. Hell, I'd play that. I mean, they made a bunch of Punisher games. I guess you're going to critique them the same way, right? Well, how could you go roll up into a police station and kill a bunch of corrupt cops? Because they corrupt cops that are getting people killed? Sounds to me like this dude's tired of having these dickheads run his town. That's what it sounds like to me. That sounds like plenty good reason right there. Like, what are we doing?
Barbarian impressions, as everyone says you should be an actor.
So tell us, hero, what is best in life?
To grate some parm, watch the cheese melt, and hear the joyful squeaks of my dinner guests.
Give this guy a week on the job as chief of police in Mouseburg would be the safest city in the world because nobody would be left alive.
And there it is. Is he really? Hold on, wait a minute. Is he using finger guns?
As chief of police in Mouseburg would be the safest city in the world because nobody would be left alive to commit crimes in the first.
No one committing a crime would be alive, and everyone would be scared to commit crimes. That's how it works, my guy.
First place. It's hard to buy into Jack as the regular guy who needs to gather evidence. I'm told he is when he just wiped out the local police department, you know?
The police blockade.
He wiped out the local police department because they're all corrupt and getting citizens killed and protecting gang members. Fuck them. What you on about, guy? You really trying to pull morality into a fucking video game? You can't just play the game like every other person in America? You gotta create this weird expertise dissonance to comparing a fucking game to real life? You just can't do that? My god, these people are cooked.
Mouse PI for Hire nails the aesthetics of both the 1930s cartoons and the...
I'm gonna say right now, this looks like a 9 to me. I haven't played it yet, but this looks like a 9. I think my score that IGN is gonna give this definitely went down to like a 5 or a 6. Maybe even lower.
Detective stories that inspired it. And it's also an amusing boomer shooter that largely feels good as you're playing it. But its haphazard marriage of noir storytelling tropes and shooter gameplay are often at odds with each other.
But what about Doom Eternal? What about the demons' feelings in Doom Eternal? How could the demons rule the world if you kill them all, man? What the fuck? You can't play, dude. You can't. The Doom Slayer's fucked up in the head. Like, how could you possibly be okay with that? It's not like they torture humans constantly. How could you be okay with killing the demons? They have lives too, you know. The fuck is this mentality?
In both aspects, and the writing is so busy making references to other things that it's actually painful to sit through at times. This FPS is solid enough if you just want to blast some cartoon mice and not think about it too hard, but once you do, all you'll see are the seams where disparate ideas have been fused together, and no...
Those of you who voted 6, you know who you are.
Can I just think of that moldy cheese? For more, check out our
there it
reviews
is,
of
boys,
and Resident Evil Requiem, and for everything else in gaming.
Remember, the same game review channel that also gave Concord a 9 and gave Crimson Desert, what was it, like a 5 or a 6? Same fucking review place. Don't you just love to see it, boys? Don't it just tickle your pickle? All right. So apparently, Asmongold and XQC had some beef over oh my gosh, what is his name? Sykkuno, the player of all time. Let's see if Tectone really kind of gets it there. Let's see. All right, Tectone, you got the floor.
Two people who I actually like quite a bit. Obviously,
I love Tectone, XQC, and Asmongold. If you haven't seen any of those streamers, they're on almost every... Asmon is pretty much on every single day. Tectone is always on in the morning. He's on Rumble now, unfortunately. And XQC is on Twitch almost every single day unless he's got something planned.
Gold to XQC, everybody knows that. You know, like stating my biases. But I want to go into this pretty fair. Asmongold...
XQC and Asmongold are pretty much on the same page with a lot of stuff.
Pushes back on XQC's take, and XQC calls out Asmongold for that pushback. So I'm going to play this shit right down the middle. I have no prior knowledge of anything going on in this, but I know everything surrounding it. So let's hear what both parties have to say, and let's see what's going on, and let's see if this is eventually going to lead to a civil war. I don't want to see Asmongold and XQC
There ain't
fight.
going to be no civil war. Asmon doesn't care. Asmon prides himself as being one of the, He understands the game, so he doesn't have any animosity towards anybody.
They're on the same side. You know, I don't want to see infighting. I don't. But let's see. Asmongold's another guy where he will always put his ego to the side when it comes to situations like these. But XQC called him out pretty hard, so let's see why.
XQC already cooking? No, dude.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Who are the victims of this case? Please elaborate on victims what?
I would like to say I 100% side with XQC on this.
I agree. What are they a victim of? What are they a victim of? You can't just throw the word victim around and expect people not to have like, by the way, the backlash towards this entire thing has been completely, like, insane towards these women that have come forward. And it's rightfully so. When you try to spin something in a false light using a stupid biased narrative, and the backlash is so big that it completely destroys your reputation because you're a jackass, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Sweet. Incredibly based, incredibly factual, incredibly true. Pokimane made the comment, I just hope all the victims can find their peace. Who are the victims, right? Because the only victim for this entire thing is the girlfriend that was cheated on. That was the only victim. Oh, but they were lied to and da-da-da-da-da. But they still made the choice to open up their legs as an adult. Not as a child, as a full-grown adult. They chose to do that. I can't stand this bullshit that they're trying to spin where you've got a grown-ass adult that consents to this. And then now that the dust is settled, they all of a sudden magically no longer want to imply they had consent. No, fuck that. That's a dangerous precedence to put forward. That is dangerous. And you absolutely have to disenfranchise and destroy this mentality. In my opinion, would either one, just be Saikuno's girlfriend.
That's right, karma's a bitch.
But two, another scenario, Saikuno. So are you saying you feel bad for Saikuno, or who are the victims? Because as far as I'm concerned, you've condemned Saikuno. So it sounds to me like you're just doing the old PR pokey and just saying what people want to hear.
And I kind of feel like he's right to an extent. I feel like Saikuno is a little bit of a victim here too. Like a lot of these women wouldn't have done this if it was somebody that looked like Asmongold or Tectone or me even. Like they wouldn't have done this with anybody that didn't look like Saikuno. So like they obviously to an extent abused him as well. Like it's obvious. Like the fact that you want to sit like even after all the dust settled, these dumbasses are even still saying that they would have like talked to him after all of this and that they just couldn't forgive him for what he did to his girlfriend. And it's like, that's because you want that money and you want him. That's what this all boils down to. Like even that girl that we were reacted to with the original post that had been done, that's what it all boils down to. They're mad they can't have him.
The only victim is his girlfriend. I have a hot take, and I'll stand by this. I think Saikuno's a bigger victim than his girlfriend. Saikuno's girlfriend got cheated on. Okay, move on. Saikuno is going to be known as a rape predator pedophile for the rest of his life.
That's infinitely worse. As a man who has been cheated on, and as a man who has been falsely accused of crimes, I would much rather get cheated on again than to ever be falsely accused ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's honestly the truth. And the difference is, I did nothing to deserve it.
If you want to argue about the vocabulary, I mean, again, I think that categorically victim is the right word to use, but they're not victims of a crime. And also, somebody says in chat, the biggest victim of all of this is his girlfriend.
No, I disagree heavily. These other girls aren't victims.
I do think that it's weird. I think that it's weird that this guy was able to get off stream every single day and immediately get on a game and talk to these girls. Where was his girlfriend at? What was she doing? Supposedly they lived in the same house, yet they never did anything together? How, like, that's what's confusing to me about this. How is it that you lived in the same house, yet you had all that time to be in a different room after streaming, and you had all that time to sit there every day after stream to talk to these girls, these women? How? I don't get it.
Victims, they're not. As well as the biggest victim in all of this is actually Saikuno. Yeah, the chick got cheated on, but Saikuno is going to be labeled a predator, rapist, pedophile for the rest of this too. The girlfriend's kind of an idiot. How in the are you so lackadaisical in a relationship for 6 years? Like, once again,
like 6 years, man. 6 years.
I got cheated on. I'm retarded for getting cheated on too. I should have seen it coming a mile away. I was warned by all of my chat that it was happening too, and I didn't listen. But like, aren't you gonna why are you staying with a guy? You know, no hate. But like, why are you staying?
Usually, if you have a feeling that you're being cheated on, 9 times out of 10, you're right. It's a gut feeling. If something just ain't right or something's out of the ordinary, you're almost always right.
With a guy for 6 allegedly. No one even knows that you exist for 6 years.
Yeah, like,
shouldn't we kind of think, that's a little weird? Like, don't you think? Like, you kind of think, I've been dating this man for 6 years, and every time he goes out, I can't come. Whenever he goes to his friends, I can't go. Whenever he goes to cons, I can't go. Like, bless her heart for being so willfully ignorant.
It's the same perspective that I had. Like, he thinks the same way about it as I see predator. So if he sees victim that way, that's fine. I don't see. I have a more broad definition of the term.
Sure.
I keep hearing that. I see that a lot too. Of like, oh, but they were victims because he lied to them. But it doesn't matter because they still open their legs prior to any actual relationship engagement. And then they're sitting there saying, well, I don't do this unless I'm in a relationship with somebody. Well, obviously not, because you did it. Obviously not. I mean, I don't understand that mentality. And I've heard this around before of like, well, I don't do this without being in a relationship, or I never sleep around on the first date. And it's like, well, obviously you do. I mean, hello? What is this bullshit?
I can understand if you want to argue semantics. I can understand if you want to argue definitionally. But Asmongold, I think that if someone is called a predator, if someone is called a victim, entirely what that means on the internet. And that's why you need to be careful.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it. They're trying to discredit him. They're trying to push this misinformation as vaguely as possible so that way people can come up with their own interpretations of what Saikuno is. That's absolutely what they're doing.
When using these terms on the internet, because everybody...
Like Nazis. We saw how that turned out. We all know what happens if you're referring to somebody as a Nazi. You're trying to dehumanize them so it makes it okay to hurt them. That's never okay.
Knows what they think it means, and people think that if someone's called a victim, they immediately think victim of a crime. When somebody says predator, they either think rapist or pedophile. Everybody knows this. Reach out to him.
I don't, but
I'll Jack, but Ecstasy is a different breed where
absolutely do not
right word to use, but they're not victims of a crime. And also, somebody says in chat, the biggest victim of all of this is his girlfriend. She is the biggest victim of all of it.
Incorrect. Again, then I absolutely disagree. Because we absolutely do not know. Okay, no. I agree that...
I'm going to let XUC cook. Usually I'm able to interject, but XUC is a different breed where what he's saying makes no sense. Like
you have to let it stew after he says it, and then it'll make sense. So don't try to interpret it whenever he first says it. Let it all kind of... You got to take the slow train with him because he's French Canadian, so American English is not his first language. Just let him finish his sentence.
Bit by bit, you have to hear the whole piece because XUC is a French Canadian and he's also a little bit retarded. So I'm not going to interrupt as much, but I will weigh in when he's done. The posts made may make her a victim, but I'm not going to assume in the blind that she is a victim because we don't know what the nature of the relationship is. That's very fair. We don't know because we haven't seen this girl. The girlfriend of Sykkuno, the ex now, I guess. We don't know who the fuck she is. We don't know what she does for a living. We don't know anything about her. We don't know what the dynamic of the relationship was. Like, we don't know shit. We don't even know if she is a victim. Maybe she wanted this. Maybe she was just living there trying to, like, save up enough money to move out. Like, how do we even know that he was in a relationship with anybody? How do you know Player just wasn't playing around? And he's just trying to, stay silent because he's trying to protect her. Like, how do we know how she thinks or feels about it at all? Know if they were in an open relationship. We don't even know. Yeah, is she even real? We have no idea how this woman even feels. That's very fair. That's honestly a great perspective that people are assuming a lot. People are assuming a lot before we know the whole story. We still haven't heard Sykkuno. We still haven't heard the girlfriend's take. This is very fair. We don't know. And anybody who claims that they know are absolutely lying. True. Let me tell you how this works. That's valid. Let's say in this instance that both these partners both cheat on each other every day. Sure. They both do it. And let's say that in a scenario, she did it 10 times. Sure. And he did it twice. Sure. But it's what they do though, right? It's the nature of their relation, right? That's fair, yeah. In this context, right? Nobody really is the victim. And if there is a victim, it would be more him. True or false? But hey, I said the same shit, to be honest. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, no, that's fair. I do agree that Sykkuno is more the victim in this scenario. Even though... Well, yeah, because, like, they, like, and I get where they're coming from. I do. Because, like, at the end of the day, these women wouldn't have done this if it wasn't Sykkuno. He's 35, he's very attractive, he's got the soft-spoken mindset, he's playing the... Yeah, he lies, sure, but you know that these women wouldn't be trying to get it with him if he didn't have money or looks. And his personality. Like, well, I mean, the personality is definitely questionable, but it's mostly for the money and looks. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we acting like these women are victims? And then the minute that they couldn't get what they wanted from him, they immediately try to dismantle his entire career. Like, what are we doing? I don't think people understand how hard it is to live life being labeled a rape predator. All the evidence. When relationship found to them that defended my bike rider. Of course, we're gonna defend it because I don't know. Why would I assume? Yeah, but where, guys? I watched the whole video and I saw all the. You missed some things. When did this happen? Show me where this happened. Show me where the big manipulating scheme has happened.
Like, if you want to argue about the vocabulary, I mean, again, I think that categorically victim is the right word to use, but they're not victims of a crime. And also, somebody says in chat, I think he would
it's my understanding that he would feel like if people acted the way that we were acting towards him, and used do those justifications to use wording and verbiage against him, he would 100%.
It's the wording and verbiage. It's the misleading and intentional obfuscation of the wording that these people are trying to use in order to paint Sykkuno as a like Tectone said, a rapist or a pedo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that misinterpretation and them not specifically saying that is leading to all this backlash and obvious teardown of these quote-unquote victims. And
he would flip on this 100%.
Yeah, like it's the wording and verbiage that makes it so volatile. 100%.
This wording is way too strong. That's not what it actually is. And wait, I didn't say the truth entirely about this, but that doesn't mean that I was trying to do a ruse or whatever. That's outrageous.
Yeah. You know, like, I believe that if this is so important, I do believe that if Asmongold were to become underneath scrutiny of such strong wording like has been presented right now, he would also understand how awful this is. And I think that's kind of where Asmongold is lacking insight, is because he's never seriously been called something like this before. The closest thing that there was Hassan calling Asmongold a lolicon, right? Because, like, and Asmongold is right 99 times out of 100.
Down by tarnishing their name and making sure that their income is scuffed over, and all the people that work there are victims of him.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, that would be, like, you know, obviously, like, Asmongold, you know, just by being Asmongold, you know, obviously this image of a power dynamic between.
Well, I don't think this was much of a quote-unquote civil war like Tectone said. It seems to me like XQC was, attacking the verbiage and wording of these people that are coming forward and trying to tear down Sykkuno. That's really what it seems like to me. And I kind of think that it's valid. I think Asmon's taking an L on this one, boys, unfortunately. I think he's taking an L on this one. So, this fuck nugget finally got in jail, and we're gonna watch the Legal Mindset version of this so we can get a real deep dive into this. He's usually pretty good, so check out Legal Mindset on YouTube.
When all these motherfuckers are saying I'm going for 30 years, 20 years, 5 years, 10 years, bro, I'm telling you, I'm not even gonna do one day, bro. They're gonna give me a fine. They're gonna say, don't come back to Korea. You're the one who's gonna look so dumb when I don't get any jail time or anything. Like, bro, I'm gonna laugh.
I mean, 6 months is no joke, but it should be way longer. No, 6 months is a joke. It's a joke. It is. It's laughably bad.
Johnny Somali, aka Ramzi Khalid Ismail, has been sentenced to 6 months and 20 days in prison with labor in Seoul, South Korea today. We're going to get that today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be around judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney who's been tracking this from beginning to end. And today we're going to break out the exact reasons for the guilty plea, his imprisonment, his sentence, and what happens next. So let's get into what happened today in Seoul, South Korea. So first of all, to just get to my opening statements, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, was found guilty on all 8 charges. So there were 4 counts of business obstruction, 2 counts of the Minor Crimes Act, and 2 counts of the deepfake distribution. Guilty on all charges. He was sentenced to 6 months in prison with labor.
That ain't shit, bro.
Additional 20 days of detention and 5 years of offender
Only
status.
5 years, though. And by the way, when he comes back to the U.S., unfortunately, this will, fortunate for Americans, this will stick. So when he comes back to America, he's going to have to register as a sex offender, so.
With his phones being permanently confiscated.
W on that, but it should be longer.
How did we get there?
Everything should have been longer.
A team effort. I started this in front of the same courtroom. And the photo here today is a photo, and once again in front of that same courtroom today. But it was a team effort. My team, the Somali Conviction Team.
There are a bunch of content creators that are trying to push the
the court that convicted him to appeal it and give him a longer sentence.
Team worked very hard submitting evidence, submitting facts, and really getting into it with this process where we wanted to have jail time instead of the normal process where foreigners are often just given a fine and let go, which we thought could be a very, very real possibility if there was not more attention on this. And you can see we had Korean media, which interviewed us, and many people from the team were there. You've got Professor Ulrich Nod, you've got Kangmin Lee, who's showed up off of X. You've got Atozi, you've got myself, Gabe.
I didn't even see him. There he is.
Showed up who saw the coverage. You've got Atozi's editor. Everybody worked together. This was a huge team effort. There are a lot of people that aren't even pictured in this that worked together to get this done. And because of the coverage of this and also the coverage in Korean media, as you see here, that actually led to a different result than normal. But let's get into the trial facts itself. So how did the trial start? Well, the trial started packed with observers. Now, the first time I came, there was hardly anybody in that courtroom about a year and a half ago. However, today, standing room only. People were standing, sitting on the floor, all there for Somali. They had to put up actually the red tape. They had to line people up. It was very, very much more chaotic than normal. Now, strict security wasn't...
No, I think there's a lot of civil rights protections for criminal workers in Korea as well. So, like, I don't think it's going to be as heavy duty as you think, unfortunately.
Of course, there was no phones or recording, as well as no...
Now, I will say that he does have soft hands, so there's a good chance that he's probably going to be the only job he's ever had, other than standing in South Korea with a bag of rotting fish and recording himself, you know what I'm saying? But like...
Or expression. At one point when someone smiled during the courtroom, the bailiff actually corrected them to, hey, no expressions, no, keep it serious, keep it somber. And the judge did remain the same throughout the trial. Now, the prosecutor did change in the spring from the older male prosecutor that was there before to a new female prosecutor, which was there today in this case. Now, what happened? Well, first, there was the guilty portion, because first they had to assess the guilt, because Ramsey had pled guilt on 6 of the charges, the business obstruction and the Minor Crimes Act, but still reasserted his non-guilty plea regarding the deepfakes. So the judge found Somali guilty on the deepfakes, as we predicted he would, because a reasonable person of the age and gender of the victims would experience shame at the deepfakes. The judge then went on to say, okay, you're guilty. Now let's talk about sentencing.
Yeah, and we talked about the Stop Nick Shirley Act already. If there's any new updates on it, then we'll look at it, but we already kind of talked about it.
Aggravating factors for the sentencing of Somali. So the mitigating factors that he explained in this case were for that victims Youngman and Hank Yu did not want Somali to be punished. And there has been a settlement with Youngman that they tried to get the charges dropped. So they weren't dropped, but the judge did say he did factor that in for mitigation. They also said that victim Bong Bong did not experience severe shame or embarrassment, and had she experienced more severe embarrassment, perhaps there would be a more harsh punishment. They also said, and this is very interesting, that the travel ban and the inability to return home were technical disadvantages for...
You know what's really fucking weird is that the victim, I think it's Bong Bong, she's got like new death threats and stuff, and she's getting a lot of backlash on social media because of the deepfakes that her and Somali released of them two supposedly being in a relationship. And it's kind of crazy that the court came to that conclusion. It's really weird because she recorded herself on the way over to the courtroom, like talking about how much backlash she's gotten from the Korean community. How did they come to that decision? That is really weird.
Somali.
That is really weird.
That was very curious to me, because if he had been allowed to leave and go home, he clearly would have not come back and not face any punishment, never gone to jail. He would have just not come back to Korea. However, he did bring up aggravating factors. The aggravating factors he brought up were that Somali repeatedly committed crimes primarily for YouTube revenue and broadcasted these with no regard for the victim. He also said that Somali showed clear disregard for Korean law. And this is something he understood from the files that we, myself, and the Somali conviction team submitted to them, showing that he didn't care about Korean law, he disrespected the judge, the prosecutor, and really the Korean system at large. He said that the Korean system is an absolute joke, and because of that, he wanted to show how much of a joke it was.
Shout out the president, you, the judge, fucking prosecutor, y'all can suck my dick, bitch ass bitches. Yeah. Suck my dick on soft.
Now, he also did bring up the risk of repeat copycat crimes and saying that because Johnny Somali is a type of streamer which can be copied and repeated, this is a risk and they need to set a precedent to deter others.
I don't know how it is in Korea. I just don't understand how they came to terms with I don't know how they came to the conclusion that Bong Bong didn't get a lot of shame and backlash for the deepfakes. I don't know how they came to that conclusion. I don't get, because she talks about it. She talks about how it's affected her and her platform. It's weird. I don't know. I don't get that. I just don't.
From coming in. Now, whether or not 6 months will actually deter people is up for debate. A lot of people, even myself included, think it's not severe enough to deter everybody, but perhaps it can be some sort of deterrent. But he did factor that in as an aggravating factor. So when he handed down the sentence, he explained very clearly it was 6 months in prison with labor. That will be in a specialized prison for labor, also in a prison for offenders, because he had 5 years of offender status, so he can be nowhere near women or children, and he also has to be away from certain types
the way it was described to a Tozy was he can't be anywhere where somebody is weak, like weaker than a middle-aged man, if that makes any sense. So he can't go to like a nursing home, can't go to like a daycare or a school. He can't be in a place where there's women. So like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know if they do like any kind of, I mean, I don't know why he would be in a woman's bathroom, but I don't get that one.
Locations as well. So he can't do all sorts of labor, but he will be laboring in prison. He also will have an additional 20 days of
how's
detention.
it going,
and
Wicked
his
West?
phones are
How's it
permanently
going, man?
confiscated. He will never get back that Galaxy or iPhone ever again. The judge also explained that there are several questions
he's definitely going to get it worse in Korea for sure, as opposed to an American prison.
About flight risk and whether he would be immediately detained.
Yeah, he got immediately
we all know
detained.
this is untrue. He hasn't been a student for quite a long
Yeah,
time.
he lied about going to Arizona University, but from what I heard, I think the court knew that he was lying, so that kind of did. I don't understand how you could look at everything in this case and not try to give this guy like 12 years in Korean prison. I don't get that. With how it's affected Bong Bong, with how unapologetic he's been, and the fact that he's still lying under oath, I don't get that. I just don't.
The judge
get
asked
that,
if there's
bro.
any other reason why he should not be immediately detained. Somali said, "I have family in my home country that I miss deeply, and I pose a severe flight risk and should be detained immediately."
Good.
This has taught me a vital lesson. Of course, we know that's not true. We have the sexual harassment charges that were filed based on his activity during that period, and those are filed in the Eastern District. We also had several instances where he was harassing people in public, where he was insulting people, getting drunk.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, he is going to be locked up in a prison where, like, it's probably, like, you got to hand it to, like, Japan, China, and, like, those Asian-style countries like Korea. They racist as shit, bro. It's kind of funny. Like,
no, that's not true. But the judge said, okay,
you're
really,
right.
None of that is relevant. We're going to find a significant flight risk and detain him immediately. So the judge then explained that there's 7 days for both Somali or the prosecution to try to appeal this. But the thing is, for Somali, where appeals really aren't going to work in his favor, is the average appeal takes about 6 months. So if Somali is angry...
So hold on, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that if this bro does an appeal and he ends up staying his 6 months in prison, right? And then he appeals that he could end up getting more time afterwards.
About this, he has to appeal from jail. So while he'll be in jail, he'll be serving that time. By the time he would appeal it for saying it's too severe, well, his term will probably be up. He'll probably be at the end of his sentence where he's already served that prison labor. Now, the bailiff did escort Somali out after that, after they explained the chance for appeal, the 7 days for appeal. His possessions were taken. Somali seemed to be prepared to go to jail as he brought a full backpack with all of his things, and he was handcuffed immediately and taken to a side room where he'll be busted.
I think he had come to terms with the fact that he was going to end up in jail. I think that's why. I think the lawyer sat him down and was like, look, you going to jail, man. You going to go to jail. You better make sure you're ready to go to jail.
Over to the detention center, and they'll eventually decide which prison to send him to.
Mm-hmm.
After Somali left the room and we saw him be, taken off and handcuffed, all the observers left. Now, Korean media was waiting outside, and myself, others.
Yeah, they were
promise
waiting.
you, I won't spend one day in jail.
Not
2 years would have been appropriate, particularly given the process.
I feel like 2 years would have been way better than 6 months. 6 months is way too short.
Recommendation of 3 years. That would have been a compromise where they didn't get the full 3 years, but they also didn't get a small amount. 6 months is too light.
It's way too light.
And because of that, we strongly encourage the prosecution to appeal, and we will be, along with the Somali conviction team, myself, encouraging the prosecutors to appeal. We also have the CHS child sexual harassment charges that are still floating out there in the Eastern District. We're going to be encouraging that district to bring those charges because those charges can be brought while Somali is in jail, and that could result in him being in Korea for an even longer time.
Good.
But I want to know what you guys think about this final judgment about 6 months.
I think it sucks. It sucks, wieners. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was awful, man.
Went from getting him 9 months in Filipino prison to...
There we go. This is more about Vitali. Vitali did get arrested for that bullshit he pulled with that that Indian guy that he was trying to say was like a pedo.
Receiving a $1 million lawsuit.
Oh, shit!
Desperate attempts at internet clout.
Yo, W Decoy, go check out Decoy on YouTube. W Decoy.
Streamed his hunting of predators until he accused an innocent man.
Right here. Wait, where did she? I swear to God, she never told me.
Wait,
she was
really?
16. I swear.
Oh shit! My bad, bro. You're good. You're good.
No, I swear to God.
Sorry, bro. Wrong person.
Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Wait, no, dude, listen. 18. I swear to God. I swear.
Let me read this real quick.
Wait. No, wait.
What? Hold on. Let me read. Yo, one at a time. One at a time.
Let me just show you.
I think Vitali, at a certain point, because you notice that he's not acting the same as whenever it first happened, starts realizing that they might have fucked up.
Okay, so you guys know that.
Like, if the person you're doing this to wants to call the police, that means you really fucked up.
I'm not playing or anything like that.
Yo, can I read the whole evidence?
Come on.
He said, LOL, you can tell me. Fuck, okay, I want to be totally honest before everything. I lied on there. I'm 16.
Wait. Don't make it weird.
So yeah, now they're blocking his face out.
I'm calling the cops right now.
You said, oh.
I'm calling the
You said,
cops.
oh. You said, oh.
That's not me.
Look, why are you shaking?
I'm a cop. That's 1286. That's not my account.
No, hey, buddy.
Violence on these guys. Had randoms run in and actually do it, or they just wouldn't be the first time they've threatened violence on these guys. Had randoms run in and actually do it, or they just mysteriously got knocked down off screen. But absolutely nobody is gonna defend a predator, so this sort of thing seems to be a staple of his streams.
What do you mean?
Look, I get that you want to beat the shit out of them. I get that. But you hitting them just opens you up for libel problems. It opens you up for, like, a lot of lawsuits. You could end up going to jail for assault. Like, I don't disagree with doing it, but at the same time, you got to make sure you do it with the right person. You got to make sure that it's the right person you're doing it to. I don't disagree with what Vitali was doing, but I do disagree with the fact that he didn't involve law enforcement because, like, I mean, I guess the internet would do a pretty good job at making sure these people wouldn't get jobs and stuff. So, I mean, I guess, but you got to make sure you get the right guy. You got to get the right guy, man.
Guys, stop.
Okay.
What do you mean by wrong text messages?
Okay,
Just explain.
Okay, look.
Well, yeah, let me hear your side of the story. Everybody.
Yeah, like, I think at this point he realized that they really fucked up.
Yeah. So, okay.
But Gabe, I asked you, bro. Please.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm gonna just show you everything one by one, okay?
But you are Indian, so you are smart, so you probably cheated the system.
No, but for Indian...
Bro, again in the middle of me talking, bro. I asked you guys.
That's what we call the clout mind, boys. He's been taken over by the clout. As the clout continues to seep into his brain, his eyes will spread more and more apart.
Holy just perfectly, like, I was getting a perfect farm clip, and then somebody had to... Okay, how are you? Okay, let's go.
Proving this isn't about protecting kids or providing vigilante justice. This is about clout and forming clips, so
I think that's why so many people are hating on it, is because it has nothing to do with vigilante justice. people would have been okay if it was vigilante justice, but it's not even about that, dude. It's just about clout. You don't care about the victims. You don't care about actually catching these guys. You don't care about beating the shit out of them. You just wanted the clout, and that's the big problem with a lot of it.
Achieve virality.
Explain it to the cops.
Like,
Yes. Where's the cops?
Right here, the suspect. Here we go. The mustache is crazy. Hello. What's up?
So what it looks like right now is as they were trying to find a PDF, they were talking to multiple guys at the same time, but at some point, mixed up on who was told what, brought this guy out who still thought he was talking to an adult. And if they broadcast this entire thing on live stream to allegedly tens of thousands of people, Vitaly now has a huge defamation lawsuit on his hands, which he immediately acknowledges.
What happened recently? I think we should take a break, go to Miami, do some regular IRLs, and chill for a bit. I think that's not chill for a bit, like take days off, but chill for a bit.
I think he's done doing the whole like pred catching thing. I think he's done with that. I don't think he'll go back to that.
What I mean is do other streams than just catching predators. So if you guys are asking if I'm cooked, I'm very cooked, yes.
I don't think a legal team's going to be able to bail him out of that either, because like at the end of the day, if you do something like that, you set yourself up for a massive failure if you fuck it up, and he fucked it up. So I don't know why the guy was there. I wouldn't doubt that he was there to do something sketchy, but like at the end of the day, you got to make sure that whenever you put the final nail in the coffin, that it's not that you actually going to make sure that it's the final nail in the coffin. You got to make sure you have all your ducks in a row when you do something like this, and he didn't. And I mean, you can't really say that this wasn't gonna happen, because this is the same streamer that got arrested in I don't even remember where the fuck it was at, in a foreign country for stealing a cop's hat and then pushing a grandmother off of a friggin' scooter and then taking the scooter. And he got jail time for that in a foreign country. Like it's.
We're wrongfully identified and accused as a child predator. We were completely wrong, and we made a terrible mistake. And our team and I messed up. We're deeply sorry to our...
As even Kick deleted his channel. And everybody knows apology videos typically get a fraction of the views of the viral original. And for him to openly admit, yes, we were wrong, makes his defamation case basically a slam dunk. As his victim made a long post saying how he was featured on Vitaly's latest episode, wrongfully portrayed as someone trying to engage inappropriately. Even the local PD on the scene has acknowledged his innocence, but the impact of Vitaly's full statement...
And that's the problem, is that this is gonna... If he actually wasn't gonna do anything, this is gonna stick with him for the rest of his life. So he's gonna need some compensation, because he's probably not gonna be able to get a job.
Has been significant, causing damage to him both personally and professionally, with potentially a $1 million lawsuit, as allegedly...
He did get arrested for this, by the way. The, Vitaly, I believe he did get arrested for this.
He's already retained one of the best defamation lawyers in the country, with rumors...
Oh, yeah, the lawyer that the guy got was the same person that did, like, the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp stuff. So that's a big L for Vitaly.
It's Johnny Depp's Amber Heard attorney, with other claims saying they're also suing the livestream platform Kick. And that's what—
Damn, bro, this dude's not fucking around.
But this really gets interesting.
I feel like because of that, Vitaly should just stay permabanned.
Filing a $1 million lawsuit means nothing if the defendant is fresh out of prison, broke and unemployed. I know Kick pays a lot, but I can't check his live stream stats as his channel has been banned, so maybe he's rich, maybe he's not. But that doesn't matter when the lawyer will target where the real money's at, the live stream platform supported by gambling money. As another live streamer has come forward saying Vitaly's stream has caused him to be targeted too.
You've seen it. I didn't even want to take you there. I just want to talk to you in the car first.
I'm assuming your name is Asian Andy?
Watch, look, let's read it out.
It's almost like a pattern the platform conveniently looked away from, all in the name of being the edgier community, and now they're looking down the barrel of a high-powered attorney, putting together a case that they paid somebody to make these claims. And with the other high-risk incidents just today, Clav passing out on stream with a
Yeah! Oh my god, I keep forgetting about this. Clav over OD'd on stream. Clav overdosed on stream 2 days ago. It was a light one, but he OD'd. They had to carry him down the steps and stuff. A lot of shit happened. Vitali got sued. Clav OD'd. And you know what's crazy is you think that he's a dumb kid. He is. But apparently they call it the streamer cocktail. And apparently, allegedly, a lot of streamers do it. It's like a bunch of drugs. It's like a streamer triangle cocktail or whatever. And it's like a bunch of drugs they all take to stream for like hours on end. Apparently that's a common thing. Like super common. So he most likely learned that shit from somewhere, took the cocktail, and then fucked himself up.
OD, Johnny Somali finally get in prison over his kick streams. Lawyers were probably falling over each other to represent any alleged kick victims. As Asmon
Nothing other than him ODing is going to happen to Clavicle. There's nothing that's going to happen to Clavicular. He didn't break the law. He was in a club and he, I guess he started to OD. The thing is that there's no law enforcement that's going to be, they're not going to want to push that, because the thing is that if you push something that somebody like ODing, the issue is that now you're going to have a bunch of people that are too scared to call the police if he ODs again. So nothing is going to happen when it comes in that instance. They want you they want you to not be scared to call the police when it comes to something like that, or the paramedics and stuff. So nothing is really going to happen to Clav when it comes to that.
It's a great point.
And these guys are like SJWs. They want money, but they act like they care about morals and ethics.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny?
Social
You're
justice
totally right.
warriors, yeah.
You're absolutely right. These people
And
are
he's referring to Vitali. He's not talking about Clavicular or Somali, obviously.
just like SJWs. They are just like social justice warriors. They're just like virtue signors, etc. They act like they care about these little girls. They act like they care about doing these things. But what they're really after is content. What they're really after is clout. And no, you're absolutely right. It is the exact same.
As catching these idiot PDFs is a great cause, but plenty of times police complain that they don't put together prosecutable cases. As if they make simple mistakes like mixing up the Snapchats, I'd imagine they don't know the other intricacies of admissible evidence.
That's what I really like about Skeeter Gene, is that he has like an entire folder. By the time he does a lot like what Chris Hansen does, he has a folder that he prints out of all the chats and stuff. And he has it's like a disposable folder, so he can just give it out and not have to worry about it. And that's what Skeeter Gene does whenever he catches these guys, and he calls the police and he just hands them the folder. He gives them all the information they need on the guy.
But if they actually cared about catching these guys, and I mean this sincerely, they should apply to their local law enforcement agencies, as almost all of them are desperately understaffed, and most of you would be actually sickened to see how low their expectations have sunk to. But if justice isn't their actual passion, and it's just internet clout, sad to say a lawsuit where you lose everything was a long time coming, especially to somebody that just got out of prison over disrespecting the law. As Vitali's recent controversy was him in the Philippines, stealing some security guard's cap, live streaming himself messing up a restaurant, amongst other things, as he was eventually detained, where it didn't look like he was taking it seriously until the sentencing started to get real, and they actually imprisoned him for just over 9 months.
Damn!
People there that overstay their visas for like 30 days, but they've been in detention for 10 years. The more I spent there, it was crazy. First 3 months, bro, I was in isolation.
Solitary.
A cage, room, 35 degrees Celsius, no ventilation, rats, cockroaches, and just sweating all day. Just shower after shower, buckets. That's all, bro.
You'd think he would have learned his lesson, but internet clout is strangely addictive to these idiots. It's such a similar sequence to Kick's other nuisance streamer, Johnny Somali, causing nonsense in Japan, getting arrested, facing years, but gets
We
let out.
already covered that. We gotta move on from this. Okay. So now we gotta address the Karen culture that is ravishing our nation, boys. It is time to call out the Karenism.
Young women. I guess they must have just got done
And
watching
apparently it's not just our nation either.
my stream. The new feminism reshaping Britain. So it was a Wednesday night. Oh, here we go. There's a lot more of this. Dating men with different political views. They all immediately said, no, I don't think I'd even be friends with one. They don't even see you as human. And this is it. Made her a pick me. Oh, yeah. And I think that women have been totally one-shot by social media. And I think the reason why is that social media hacks women's brains, I think, in a unique way, in a different way that it hacks men's brains, right? Like with men, it's sex, but like with women, I think it's consensus. Because once you establish a consensus on something, a lot of women just automatically go and they agree with it. They're like, yeah, so true, so true. But that's not how something like that works. So, yeah, calling strike? I guess so. And so anyway, we'll look at this here. And I'll look at the Justin Bieber thing, but that's a good example. Strikingly, young women are a lot more negative about the opposite gender than young men. Look at this here. Under 30 women are 3x as likely to hold a negative view of young men than the other way around. So men don't really like, I mean, and this is, by the way, guys, all of the talk of like, ow, there's so many incels. I hate incels. Oh my God. They're everywhere now. Oh, God. Where have all the good men gone? Well, where have all the good women gone? They all fucking hate us. They hate us. And meanwhile, the amount of actual incels. So, women, we have guys, we have to deal with the incels. You understand that? We are the people that are suffering from incels. It's just that the incels are women. That's it. And take a look at the graph. The graph says this. I'm not saying this. The graph is saying this.
That's right, guys. The graph. It's the graph.
They created them. Yes, the femcells hurt us. They have. And there it is. Men under 30 have a 72% positive outlook on women. Women under 30 have only a 50% positive outlook on men. Women under 25, only 35%. Think about how crazy, dude.
Damn.
The thing is that, like, if there actually are, like, overlords, if Israel really does control the world, can you imagine how happy they are right now? Can you imagine they're like, oh...
And you might think that this is a bad thing that they hate us. But remember, if they hate men, they won't reproduce. And if they won't reproduce, the stupidity will die off naturally. Please keep that in mind.
Oh, bro, we have all the goyim fighting. They hate each other. Like, everybody's addicted to drugs. You know, they think that if they look better, they're going to be happy. But now we're going to raise their interest rates again, and they're not going to have any money. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a bullshit stat. I don't think it is. I don't. I think this is real. Women under 25 dislike capitalism so much, they view it as unfair.
Hold on.
Insane to even imagine something like this is true. Young women are 26 points less favorable to capitalism than young men and feel much more positively towards communism than capitalism.
That is insane. That is crazy. So they prefer communism to capitalism. That is fucking crazy.
Women under 25 dislike capitalism so much they view it as unfavorably as fascism. The UK should pay slavery reparations by a 2-to-1 margin. They think 43 to 40%. It is unfair that some people have more than others, and we should redistribute wealth over people deserve to keep what's theirs, even if that means others have less. More negative than young men about their careers, earning potential, and property. Now, I could give you my analysis. Yes, no more vacations. And anyway, I didn't need, like, you didn't need to do all this. Do this. I didn't need, like, you didn't need to do all this. Like, what's all this money getting wasted over nothing? So let me explain all of the reasons. Actually, let me go through everything. Feminism and socialism. Female graduates heard much more positive views about communism, feminism, and socialism, and Extinction Rebellion rather than non-graduates.
You see, this is weird to me. I gotta say this, because if I don't, I feel like I'm going crazy. Why are there so many more people that are advocating for communism? Is it because we're not showing it enough in schools? Is it because we're showing too little of it? Like, what is causing more people to protest in America with communist flags other than being paid by a Chinese billionaire? Like, what other reason could there be for people not understanding what communist, like, women do realize that in a communist country, women have the littlest representation, right? Like, you don't get to vote, you don't get to, some countries don't even let you leave the house without a man. You do understand that if you were in a communist country, all of your representation would be snatched away, right? You would have none. It would be a male-dominated country. I don't even understand. Like, you hate men, but you want men to control everything. How the fuck does that happen? Do you understand the, like... How do you come to that conclusion?
Grads are more likely to back. Grads are more likely to back. Oh, slavery. I thought slavery reparations. Like, I was about to say, like, damn. Okay, all right. But say we need more government intervention to ensure life is fair. And white women are more critical about the country and their chances in it than those from an ethnic minority background. White women are more likely. So wait a minute. White women are more likely to say the country's racist than people that are not white. Young white women are less likely to feel like they feel valued by society. There is a COVID generation. U25s are more likely to think COVID has a significant impact on their lives and opportunities. Under 25 women think that it's much more likely to believe that things are stacked against me no matter how hard I try.
Welcome to the game. Welcome to the game. Men have been feeling that way for years now. Now that you want equal rights and you're seeing what equal rights brings and you see what men are having to deal with, what, now you have a problem with it? Yeah. It's been like that for men for a long fucking time. And now you get to peer behind the curtain and look and see what men have had to deal with. Yeah, sucks, don't it?
How hard I try. Oh my god. 6 in 10 would find it difficult to date someone who disagreed on Gaza. 3 out of 4 say the same views about Donald Trump, with even more saying they wouldn't date someone who disagreed with social justice. So here's the big problem with this. The birth rates. The birth rates of these people that are super liberal like this is like 0.6.
Good.
It's like
good.
0.6 or...
This is a good thing. Do not ever look at this and say this is a bad thing. Do not.
0.8. Like, you want to talk about extinction? You're doing it. You're doing it to yourself.
Natural selection, baby. Evolution finds a way, boys!
So is all chat incels? Well, yeah, all of the incels on the internet right now are here. This is like the main... They call it the main base of operations. And this is where they get their orders from.
Enough, dude.
On like which innocent, innocent nice girl to harass and humiliate on today. And we'll get to that later on. Okay, don't worry about it. But anyway, women are the gatekeepers of sex, and men are the gatekeepers of relationships. Saikuno.
Yep.
Anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this.
Those girls wouldn't give a flying fuck about that man if he didn't have looks at the age of 35 and he didn't have money. You're damn fucking straight.
In a secret Discord chat? No, it's true. It's undeniably true. Everybody knows it's true. So tell it to Saul, well, I don't know about that. And he wasn't in a relationship with them. I think that's a great example. So, yeah. So this is what I think is happening, is that a tree, or sorry, it grows around a fence or something like that. So this is like, let's say, just theoretically, 15 years. Like, men hate men and it's irrational. Ask a woman that you know to read some of their DM requests. Holy environment like this, right? I mean, a woman, like, let's say a dude wants to have a kid. Okay, well, you're locked in for like maybe 5 minutes. Let's say a woman wants to have a kid. You're locked in for 9 months. And like, you know, realistically a lot longer than that because you have to take care of the kid. But like at least 9 months. So the problem is that women are biologically inclined to be the selectors in sex. They have to be. There's no way inside of a society where that doesn't become the case, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Assuming that's not the case, this is obviously, you're the Chinese emperor. And young women are the best and aggressive revolutionaries due to being empaths. Well, young women are only good revolutionaries in an environment where their level of aggression is not punished, right? So young women are actually terrible revolutionaries, and they can never be revolutionaries. The only real revolutionaries and the only real force for change in society can only ever be men. Because men are bigger, stronger, faster, and they will always outperform women in any sort of a test of force. This will always be the case. So the only cases where women are powerful in terms of a revolutionary sense is in societies that allow aggression to exist unchecked. Like, they're getting a problem. And say that, all right? So what's happened, I think, is that, you know, universities and different programs. There it is. Where about women gone from Elon Musk's Twitter?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
That's right.
That's right. No girls allowed. Yep.
And I think this is the problem with Twitch right now. And this is also the problem with YouTube. Is you've got all of these, like, a man can talk about something and not put his emotions into it and not give a fuck about what he's saying. But when you've got all these rampant, emotionally driven individuals, women, in a place like YouTube that can control if you get viewership, if you get, suspended or banned, and they want to claim that it's AI. Well, obviously that's not the case because you're only watching one of the streams instead of both of the streams that are being put through to YouTube. So I know that it's not the case. Somebody went in because they got into their emotions. They couldn't take them out, couldn't take themselves out of the emotions. And then you end up suspending somebody that gets YouTube a lot of fucking backlash, rightfully so, for not doing anything wrong. Same thing with Twitch. You should instantaneously fire somebody that does something like that. If they don't break the terms of service and they didn't do anything wrong, the person that goes in and does a suspension like that needs to be instantaneously fired, and you need to be forced to do a public apology. You do. Like, it's fine to hire these women, but these women need to keep their bullshit in check. Same thing with any dude they hire too. There's any guy in there that's like, oh, I'm just going to suspend you, in instantaneous termination, and then fucking an apology on social media, period. By name. Like, they should apologize by name to the content creator.
You know, universities and different programs have created this artificial idea that the participation rate of men and women inside of lucrative fields needs to have parity. It needs to be equal.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The problem there is that some fields are just going to attract more men and some fields are going to attract more women. So the problem is that whenever you manufacture that parity, you add people in that shouldn't be there. And that's what's happened, is that you've had a lot of these people that I think have, again, like look at how many opportunities and advantages and, programs and possibilities and things that they can take advantage of and everything else, like internships and, mentorships that are reserved for women.
Exactly.
They're reserved for women primarily. And
you know what that's called? Sexism. It's sexist. Why do you give one the opportunity but not the other? Why I thought we had this problem solved. What the fuck happened? Like what the fuck happened here? Oh well because I'm a woman and I work at a desk, I want to be paid as much as blue collar. No, that's not how it works. Blue collar is paid as much as it is because it's hard manual labor. I've fought fires next to women firefighters before. They're fucking badasses. Why don't you step up to the plate? Why does the plate have to be lowered for you? Fuck you. Who are you? Step up to the plate. No, that's not how it works. These DEI programs that were made during the 4 years of Biden were all designed to disenfranchise white men. That's why you had these diverse hires and the government paying for diverse hiring everywhere. Every fucking where they were trying to dip into. That's why you had all these movies coming out that were garbage, all these fucking weird shenanigan bullshit actors that didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and these TV shows and stuff, all these TV shows trying to do all that shit so they can collect that government DEI hire money. They disenfranchised white men for this, and it mostly benefited, and I want to say this very clearly, it mostly benefited white women. Who do you see in this picture? I see a lot of white women that are now jobless, protesting in Minneapolis because they're the only people that are willing to pay them. That's why. They didn't hire based on work experience. They didn't hire based on how many other jobs you had prior. These people were hired so that way the company could get a big fat paycheck from the government. It, in a way, forced racial and sexual bias into the company, which is dog shit.
Overwhelmingly. So how is it that you have to do all of this in order to create this parity? It's because it doesn't exist. It's not real. And so what happens is that this is the second order effect, is that you get very, very stupid college students that should have never been in college in the first place. And the only reason they probably were in college is because of a lifetime of preferential treatment, advantages, and systematic, basically benefits. That's what's happened. That's exactly what's happened, is that they've been given all of these systematic benefits and advantages, and because of that, they've been able to achieve a certain level of parity. But the moment that, that meritocracy is once again enforced, things go back to default settings really quick.
And I want to say that there are obviously some women out there that have busted their ass to get in their position. Some of them actually should be there. Obviously, that's the case. Like, if you're a lady that goes through the time and effort to actually get where you need to be, or let's say you were a DEI hire, but come to find out you're more beneficial being there at the company so they don't lay you off, like W worker, that means that you're actually putting in the time and effort and you're taking your job serious. You're not trying to find new reasons to keep your job. You have a reason to keep your job. Seriously, like, I'm not trying to disenfranchise all white women. I'm saying that a lot of women that got into some jobs obviously didn't belong there. And that's how we ended up with the skull fuckery that was the past 4 years.
And you can look at IQ distribution with men and women. You can look at everything. And the thing is that a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about are things that nobody else will ever say. Nobody else will ever say a lot of this stuff. And the reason why is because it's politically incorrect.
Yeah, fuck that.
And you try to build, when you try to this. I told my sister about IQ curves, they were mad. Yep. I mean, the thing is that gender is real. Differences between
as more. Here's a headline for you. The stay-at-home boyfriend is now an economic trend as more women than men go to work. And the reason they...
I wonder why that is. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because they're not hiring them because of the DEI programs that have been around for the past 4 years. Big surprise if all the jobs are hiring to get a big fat fucking paycheck from the government for DEI hires. Well, they're not going to hire a bunch of, I'm so sorry for saying this, they're not going to hire a bunch of black people. They're going to hire a bunch of people that they know won't cause too much trouble. And I know that it's fucked up to say that, but I mean, that's the biased fact of it. I'm not saying they cause trouble. I'm just saying what they do. They're going to hire a bunch of white liberal women. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to get money for hiring a bunch of white men. They're going to hire a bunch of women. And that's just how it is. And that's why they've kind of like a lot of these companies like Ubisoft and a bunch of other companies have gone completely under. They have. They've gone completely belly up. It's that mentality that ruins an organization. It's the forced. It's not forced. It's the, what is the word I'm looking for? It's beneficial to hire them because the company gets money for it. Money that they didn't even have to work for, they get. And now you've got, Desmond that can't get a goddamn job because nobody's willing to hire him because all the companies are trying to get a fat paycheck from the government. Well, big fucking surprise, you've got more men at home now. Well, who'd have guessed?
Is that fewer young men, Maggie, are entering the workforce than their fathers, their parents were. Is this a trend that you are noticing personally?
I have very traditional views on marriage. People to do it right. And if not the amount, the old age of 29, this is not the way that we were meant to live. Y'all can look into this. I mean, Little Tay even said it, which million views. Look at this. America promised to hire a lot more people of color. It actually did.
Yeah, exactly. Man, look at all those people of color. Man, look at that. That's crazy, ain't it?
White was 6%, people of color, 94%. I really thought I'd get actual pushback. Someone somewhere articulating a theory of what I got wrong, why DEI was good or necessary, but this is pure ad hominem, total epistemic closure. There's nothing under the hood. And completely uncurious about the world that they actually live in. So, again, the lost generation. Oh, boy. 1 in 6 hiring managers have been told to stop hiring white men. There you go. And so this is the reason why you have these things happen. And this is something that was done to men. It did not happen to men. It was done to them intentionally with a malicious intent. It was done with a malicious intent, and it was done to hurt them. And it worked. It worked.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, why is this happening to us? Angry? Because there are too many men.
But remember, you're supposed to feel bad for the slavery that happened long before your birth. Remember that, guys. Remember, you get told that this is your fault and that you deserve this.
It's because there are too many men that are eager to sell themselves and sell other men out in order to, they will throw away every level of self-respect they have just for a crumb of pussy. That's the reason why. Just to hear that they're a good boy on on a Twitter post. It's pretty substantial. Right? Complete pussy. Yeah. But it says women will end violently. And there is no chance that the men that are being violent about it will not win. Even like words. That's what's happened. This will change false accusations of bigotry. The reason why this continues to be a problem is that people don't understand how to ignore accusations of bigotry. And whenever something like that is leveraged in a way that's, not true or inaccurate, what they do instead of actually listening to and, trying to, take it seriously or not, they just immediately apologize.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Migrants poses
It's crazy, bro.
gay to get an asylum. Undercover BBC investigation.
So BBC's actually doing their job now. This will blow your fucking mind.
Fines.
We're investigating immigration advisors that are encouraging migrants to cheat the asylum system. To penetrate this shadow industry, we've had to go undercover. Our reporter is posing as a former student who wants to stay in the UK.
Okay.
They're not being persecuted. They've got no genuine basis to claim asylum. But we've heard some consultants are prepared to help migrants like him.
So why do you leave a comment, sheepy boy? If you don't like the stream, why do you leave a comment? Why even engage with the content? Why not just scroll past? Why not just leave? But we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Why even engage with the content? Why not just scroll past? Why leave a comment? Is it because you're just too smooth-brained to figure out that if you leave a comment, you're gonna get more content by it? Like, sounds to me like this dude's tired of taking fat L's from Trump's administration. We should just ban him and move on. There's not much brain going on there anyway.
Pretend to be gay to stay in the UK.
What do? You have to show up with like a Village People t-shirt? You have to be a fan of Assassin's Creed Shadows? What does being gay look like?
Hello?
I wonder.
After putting out some feelers, our undercover reporter's phone rings out of the blue. Someone's got in touch from a number that we have not got saved.
And then, I don't know who this person is, but her name is Tanisha. Yeah, in gay. I said, but I'm not a gay. She goes, doesn't matter, no one's gay.
No one's gay.
Later that evening, our undercover reporter puts a face to the voice on the phone.
Okay.
This is Tanisha Khan. She's invited him to her home in East London for what will turn out to be the first of several meetings. Tanisha explains one specific way to remain in the country.
I'm only going to give you one warning. Don't call anybody in my comments this word. Not me or any other person. I will report your ass. Do not do it.
Where we can get you a visa. It's on human rights. It's called gay case or same sex. You have to prove that you're an LGBTQ person. But I'm not. That's it. There's no other hope for any other.
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, man. Don't call no one names like that. YouTube cracks down on that heavily. Do not use that. Do not use that as a slur word in YouTube. Now, you could probably do it on Twitch, but you can't do that on YouTube. There's a reason why most of your comments have been held for review. You got to be careful on YouTube. You got
For a fee, Tanisha offers to provide evidence to support the fake claim.
So you just get let in if you're gay? What the fuck? How does something like this...
So it's like, I get what you're saying, but you can't... If I misinterpreted it, someone else will too. That's why. Just don't do it. Don't fall in that trap.
Happen. I will fully prepare you, compiling a comprehensive package for you, including photographs of you. Photographs of you at.
It's because YouTube's filled with a bunch of pussies. That's why we just.
clubs. Guys, does anybody here like going to a club? I've got bad or good news for you, depending. You're gay. And various other pieces of supporting evidence. Look, this guy's listened to Creed on Spotify.
It's easier to get away with saying it, as long as you're not saying it multiple times, but when you type it, that's all way harder to get away with. Because AI is going to skim the video and the stream and be like, I didn't feel anything because, you know, it's AI. But like...
632 hours. Oh! No, let him in. No, we know. Say no more.
Asmon missed this, but in the full video they actually explain how this is massively widespread.
You think you've seen it all.
So you mean to tell me that these people they go to a foreign country and then they immediately plead as gay so they can stay in that country even if they're there illegally and they get granted like amnesty? That's bullshit. That's dog shit, man. Like, what?
And then you see something like this.
Our reporter makes a down payment of £150 to become a client. He's invited to attend his first meeting. Here, Tanisha isn't just one of the group's advisors.
Don't type the G word. I should honestly put a restriction on it is what I should do. Because, like, and it's not necessarily just a you thing, but when you type it, it pulls that part of the stream particularly. And if you know, like, it could get the entire damn thing age restricted, or it could be like, oh, AI dumb, AI say this hate speech, so AI give you strike now, that kind of stuff. And
every time we've driven past, there's more and more people going in. It's clearly absolutely packed in there. So this isn't just people in London, this is people from all over the country. Yep.
Come 200 plus bande.
Tu सारे gay हैं क्या?
हाँ सारे ये सारा
मैं तो नहीं
भाई कोई भी नहीं इसमें 1% भी नहीं 1% जानते हो 0.01% भी नहीं
Tanisha Khan denies all wrongdoing and said there'd been communication difficulties because she's not a fluent Urdu speaker. The Home Office said anyone found trying to exploit the system will face the full force of the law.
Fact is that there shouldn't even be a system that lets people in for being gay to begin with. That's a retard.
Yeah, like, that's a stupid ass reason. That shouldn't even be a thing. Like, that is crazy. You can't honestly set these systems up and not expect for them to be abused, right? Surely they don't. Like, what did they expect when they did this?
Did talk about the Saikuno thing. We.
Okay, hold on. What the fuck?
Stunning news out of Virginia now, breaking overnight. The former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax found dead in a apparent murder-suicide today. Griff Jenkins is watching that, and what details have we learned so far, Griff?
Yeah, Bill, a tragic developing story. Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis confirming that former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife Serena and then turned the gun on himself at their home in Annandale, Virginia. Their children, both teens in high school, one boy, one girl, were home at the time. The son called 911 shortly after midnight.
What the
Chief Davis
hell?
says the couple had been living together in separate rooms, going through a messy divorce.
We know that recently Mr. Fairfax was served some type of paperwork indicating when he was scheduled to next appear in court for the ongoing divorce proceedings. So I guess that is something that we're looking at as something that may have led to whatever happened last night that led to the murder of a mother and a wife and a suicide.
Chief Davis adding that this is a high-profile family. This is tragic, of a loss for the children to lose both parents. And he says there are enough cameras, Bill, in the home to corroborate what happened. At this point, they believe that Fairfax appears to have used the same gun on his wife and himself. Police also noted that back in January, the wife made a police report alleging assault by her husband, Justin, in the house, but police determined that was not proven to be the case. No charges were brought. You'll recall Fairfax was lieutenant governor from 2018 to 2022 under Virginia Democrat Governor Ralph Northam, who issued a statement to Washington Post saying, "Pam and I are devastated by this heartbreaking news. I had the privilege of getting to know the Fairfaxes while our families served together. Justin Fairfax once viewed as a frontrunner for...
What was Fairfax? Was he Democrat or Republican? I mean, that doesn't really matter. It's still awful either way. Was Fairfax was Fairfax a Democrat or a Republican? He was a Democrat. That's really weird. That's the second person in the Democratic Party in the past week. Because first it was that Wilwell guy with all those allegations, and then the spy, right? You remember the spy? And now it's this.
Governor, he had sexual allegations made against him in 2019 that had dated back to 2000 and 2004 bill. He still ran in 2021, but he came...
What the fuck? Is this just like a reoccurring theme with these guys? What the fuck?
Came in fourth. It's a developing story. We'll bring you more as we get it.
This used to be a Republican thing, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, thanks, Griff. Good to see you. Griff Jenkins on that story in Washington.
That's weird. That's really fucking weird.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full...
That's really weird, man.
So you saw Admiral Cooper come on and dress for the first time. I always thought he was in theater. He says he's just his second visit over to the Middle East. Then we saw, of course, General Kane and...
Yeah, it's like a pattern. I don't know what's going on, you know? It's definitely eerie.
Address an update, which is we are just right in the middle of a ceasefire right now. But we're just arming up, ready to go should we have to jump in again.
Yeah, he said what we've been saying all morning. You can do it the nice way, or you can take the hard way. And he urged the new regime to choose wisely, he said, which is to hand over the enriched uranium so you cannot make a nuclear bomb.
Oh, yeah. I haven't said this at all this stream. If you're new here, sub to the channel. Like the stream. The likes definitely help out the stream. We're here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. So please stick around. Check out the channel membership. I haven't said this at all this stream. Funny enough, I need to be saying it more. The stream's going to be suffering today, boys. But yes, thank all of you for showing up every single day. Y'all are awesome, by the way. But yeah, sub to the channel. We always here every day.
Straight. And because we have annihilated their economy, we've annihilated their ships, their missiles, their air force, and taken out their leadership. So you would think that they would be willing, their economy,
Look, like death sucks either way. It doesn't really matter what side it's from. Especially whenever it has like a family that's literally lost two parents. That just sucks, man. It sucks. Because now their entire, like, those kids' lives are going to be completely changed now because of this. And they were in the house when it happened. That's just awful. That's awful.
80% inflation rate right now. It was 40% in January when everyone was protesting.
Speaking of the...
I don't have to say that, like, for example, a lot of people were like, you know, I'm happy Biden's got the brain cancer. It's like, dude, brain cancer sucks. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody deserves that shit. It's awful. That's terrible. Like, nobody deserves that. Like,
Ainsley, we learned from that press conference that they haven't had to do any of the interdictions. It looks like all of those countries...
It's straight to Trump now.
...are understanding what the United States means, which was they will seize the ships, they will board those ships, and they will use any type of military operation that they need to.
They will take them over 13 ships. They made the wise move to turn around.
But they do have rockets left, no doubt about it, and the Gulf states know that well. Let's bring in Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin to break it down. Jennifer, we're in the pause, but it looks like the military has not stopped.
Well, that's right. In fact, what we just heard, Brian, is that they are in the process of rearming, and that ceasefire ends on Tuesday, April 21st, unless the 2-week ceasefire is
April 21st. That's
I think the most interesting thing that we learned from the press conference is that they are taking this blockade, and we learned from General Kane that they had turned back 13 vessels, ships that were heading to Iranian ports or were Iranian vessels of some sort. Those 13 ships had turned back because of the blockade. They have not had to board any of the vessels, but we also learned that they are extending this blockade really in terms of going after any Iranian ships out to the Pacific. And so Admiral Paparo out at Indo-PACOM will be chasing down some of that shadow fleet, those oil tankers that are not flagged but are in fact trying to help Iran skirt sanctions, and they're going to be going after those ships aggressively in the Pacific. That is something new that we have not heard before.
Yeah, be better than them.
You mentioned Admiral.
Don't say and do what they do. Be better than them. Like, there are times where you got to get into the trenches and get your hands dirty and go lower than them, but that's definitely not one of those times.
Cooper and his second trip to the region. He has been down at CENTCOM headquarters in Tampa, sort of quarterbacking this whole effort for the last month or 6 weeks or so. And so it would not be normal for the CENTCOM commander to be over in the Middle East. Tampa is set up to be the kind of headquarters to bring all of the efforts, air, sea, and Army together. I think what is interesting, it's the first time that Admiral Cooper has been up to the Pentagon since the war started. Not a lot of details about what comes next, but I think the secretary spent most of the time addressing the Iranian leadership. It's clear that intensive negotiations are going on right now, or talks about talks. The concern, I think, here in Washington is that the Iranians will just try to play for time. And I think
well, every day that that goes by is another day where they lose, like, what is it, like, $430-something million? Man, at the rate they're going, they're not going to be able to afford their bot farms anymore to send propaganda to the U.S.
message today is that the U.S. military is rearming and will be ready if the ceasefire falls apart. Brian?
Jennifer, can you put into perspective, though, as it relates to those ships that they turned around and they're waiting for them, how much of an impact Iran not getting those ships, the financial impact that it's going to have on the Iranian regime?
Well, it's a good question, Lawrence. I think
that what's going to happen is that the Iranian people, because they're going to keep printing money out, and they're going to have to, become accustomed to losing $400 billion a day because of the strait being closed to them. That now they're going to have to realize that their Iranian people aren't going to be able to afford any more food, and then they're going to have to deal with a lot of disgruntled, starving people. And last time I checked, being hungry and being oppressed by a country makes you do some crazy things. Let's just say that.
From what we've been talking to experts, it's going to have a very significant effect. In fact, the Iranian economy is really on the verge of collapse. And if you
I bet that bitch is tanking, bro. Every day that negative number hitting that economy.
Way the shipping, the oil tankers, there were 9 oil tankers, I think, that were turned back. Those
right,
oil
them goats
tankers
are fucked
normally
now.
leaving the Karg Island and that area on a daily basis.
Y'all something else, man. Y'all something else.
We spoke to one expert who said that if this goes on 2 weeks longer...
Yeah, guys, they're not going to have any more money to make AI propaganda anymore. What are they going to do? Oh, no. Well, don't worry. America's got plenty of footage that you can show the Iranian people what's going on. Don't worry about it, man. There's plenty of footage that shows what America's been doing. Just pull up, spend a lot on Fox.
Oil capacity.
But if you don't like Fox, I mean, I'm sure CNN has showed a bunch too.
Get the oil out of those ports. We saw this in Venezuela. If they can't get it out of those ports, they'll have to turn off their kind of...
You see, what's crazy is that China would send them food. And then you know what would happen? Their regime would take the food and charge them an outrageous amount of, an exorbitant amount of money to get the food. It's not a matter of them having the food. It's a matter of it costing so fucking much that nobody can afford it and everybody's starving.
Oil pipeline.
That's what it is.
Backs up the whole system, and then really you're going to see the economic collapse come rather quickly. So I think the next 2 weeks are rather crucial for the Iranian economy as well as their oil supply.
Definitely. Jennifer, thank you so much.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Give me a second. I have to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I'm back. Oh my god. I made it. All right. Boop. What the hell is this? What is this?
So, just hours from now, the Pentagon is going to give us an update on Operation Epic Fury since enforcing a blockade on Iran's ports.
And it's going well. The blockade's holding strong since the operation began. It happened earlier this week, actually took place officially 10 a.m. on Monday. CENTCOM says 10 vessels have been turned around. 0 ships have broken through. That includes China and Iran.
And this comes as a new report says that Iran might have just 2 weeks of onshore oil storage capacity left. This might force Iran to completely halt oil exports.
Yeah, we're just draining them right now. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is preparing to pivot to economic warfare on Iran, which Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says will bring Tehran to its knees financially.
Yep.
We have had maximum pressure on...
Bombed all their shit and took away all their toys. We yeeted and deleted their Navy, their Army, and their Air Force. And now we're going to cripple their economy. Man, this is rough for them, ain't it?
On the Iranians, both on blocking payments into the Iranian state and...
So they froze the banks. They froze the banks, guys. Holy shit. They actually did it. They froze the banks.
Going after the accounts of the IRGC. We have told countries that if you are buying Iranian oil, that if Iranian money is sitting in your banks, we are now willing to apply secondary sanctions, which is a very stern measure. And the Iranians should know that this is going to be the financial equivalent of what we saw in the kinetic activities.
So for the latest on the ground in the Middle East, we turn to Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yanks. Trey, what's going on?
Yeah, hey guys, good morning.
Bro, do you realize that there's a good chance that they pre-planned for Iran taking the Strait? And what they did was they let Iran take the Strait and let all these economies across the world suffer to show what, like I said this a little while ago, and show what the Iran government is willing to do in order to win. So that way, not only here's the kicker, it's a double tap. So they took the Strait of Hormuz and prevented all flow to every other country in the world, right? And then they narrowed it so that way only certain ships that they want could go through, right? America took it knowing that they would do it, blockaded it, and is now only letting ships that belong to American assets and America through and keeping all the stuff from Iran there, or for Iran there. So these guys got double tapped before the chess match even started. It's brilliant. Because everyone was like, well, why didn't he think about the Strait? Why didn't he think about the Strait? And I'm like, dude, there's no way. There's no way that somebody that's able to get Maduro out of bed with his wife and get up out of there without losing a single American life didn't have this planned already. So they took the Strait, bottlenecked it, and we just took over the bottleneck. That's literally what we did. They made the checkpoint and we took the checkpoint. They did all the legwork for us. That's crazy.
Opportunity unfolding right now in the Middle East. Israeli sources telling Fox News they believe that talks between Israel and Lebanon could lead to Lebanon joining the Abraham Accords. It's still early, but following direct conversations in Washington earlier this week, President Trump overnight on Truth Social posted, quote, trying to get a little breathing room between Israel and Lebanon. It has been a long time since the two leaders have spoken, like 34 years. It will happen tomorrow. Nice. As Israeli ground forces continue to operate in southern Lebanon, Hezbollah is still firing rockets and drones over the border. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying this about the situation.
We are about to overcome the southern Lebanon town of Bint Jbeil. We are, in effect, about to eliminate this great stronghold of Hezbollah. At the same time...
Bro, they're killing all the Hezbollah? Dude, holy shit. They getting rid of all the terrorists, man. They getting rid of all the terrorists, bro. The Middle East might actually be free.
I gave instructions to the IDF yesterday to continue widening the security zone and to also spread it eastward toward the slopes of Mount Hermon so that we can better assist our Druze
Holy shit, they're doing it.
New video released by a Lebanese...
Bro. Okay, I got to talk about this. We got to talk about this.
in their time of distress.
He throwing that thing back, bro. He throwing that turd cutter back. Watch that.
New video released by a Lebanese paramedic group shows an evacuation of wounded men, clearly marked medic vests.
Bro was ready for that lift, man.
Southern
That's
Lebanon.
a team player.
While the wounded are being loaded into ambulances, another Israeli strike hits just outside of the vehicle. The Lebanese health ministry said 4 rescue workers were killed in Israeli strikes on Wednesday. The Israelis responded to a request for comment from Fox News, saying, quote, overnight the IDF targeted Hezbollah combatants who were wearing paramedic vests and using ambulances.
By the way, if you're wondering, it's a war crime. And they did this whenever they went and got the downed pilot because, no man left behind. They were using paramedics. They were terrorists and people of the military dressed as paramedics using paramedic vans and stuff, which, by the way, is a war crime. Just like the cluster bombs they're dropping on Israel and a lot of the other nasty shit that they've been doing for 47 years. You'll be happy to know that most of those ambulances have been burned into the pavement. But everybody else in the world wants to cry and bitch and moan about war crimes, right? Man, sure don't look good, huh?
Move Hezbollah fighters and weapons. We can confirm that 4 Hezbollah combatants were successfully killed in the strikes. And so a difference there in the statements from the Lebanese government and the Israeli government. But moving forward, there is optimism in the region about the possibility of these direct talks leading to a normalization agreement.
All right, I'll pull them up.
Guys?
I'll pull them up. What's your problem, man? You can't just play nice? Oh, no. You a generational crash out, that's why. Bro, you do realize you're from a third country, right? A third world country? Only third world countries have adults in it that bully people for having mental illnesses. Like, what are you, 5? Do you need a nappy? What's the matter, your mommy didn't pop the tit out for you to suck on this morning? Like, what's your dilemma? Do I even want to know? I don't even want to know. I'm good, bro. Just so go back to your third world and fuck your goats already. Like, leave us alone.
Today, this Mohsin Rezai, an ex-commander, they say he's an advisor to the new supreme leader, was mocking the president's blockade.
I just thank God it in me today, man.
They're winning this war, daring us to go back to war. Are we to believe this guy, or are we to believe what the others are saying that are in Pakistan?
It's a great question. While the Iranians are talking, the Americans are preparing. There are still thousands of additional U.S. forces headed to the region. Each and every day, there are transport planes and refuelers landing in the Middle East. This is an indication that President Trump has a variety of...
I just don't get it. I don't get where do you get off going into someone's comments and then making fun of them for having a mental illness, bro? You can't change that. What's next? You gonna make fun of their skin color, you piece of shit? Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
The Iranians are not serious about making a good faith deal.
What the hell are you doing?
The region may go back to war. And what is a good faith deal? This is the important thing to look at. A good faith deal is Iran understanding that they will never have a nuclear weapon, understanding that they cannot maintain the ability to enrich uranium, understanding that they have to remove.
That's the best part, is that they are losing so hard, and there's so more, like, over the past few weeks even, there have been substantially less and less of these people because they're not getting their payments anymore. Don't you know that? They're not getting paid to do their propaganda pushing anymore, so they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've lost so hard in this war, they don't have anything to talk about anymore. That's the thing, is like, they've been to so many chats and gotten banned out of so many chats that they're realizing that it's not working. So they can't pay for the propaganda pushing anymore, especially now that the Strait of Hormuz is the Strait of America. They can't do anything about it, man. All they can do is sit there and cry. And then that's with the few that think that they're still going to get paid. Man, maybe you just ain't and maybe it hasn't registered to you yet if you're trying to propaganda push that your payments probably ain't going to go through. I'm sorry. Like, you're not going to get paid to do it, man.
Deep underground in the aftermath of Operation Midnight Hammer from their country. If they can clearly make those agreements at the negotiating table, they may get a deal. But there are other things.
Yeah, they're not even protesting anymore like they were. It's been a complete and total fat L on every fucking side of the spectrum when it comes to the systematic like abuse of Americans. You just keep trying to use your voice because you can't do anything else, and now you can't even afford to use your voice. That just goes to show like how strong America's influence is. Because America is the best country in the world, and anybody that doesn't understand that, well, maybe you should read more about your communist propaganda in your books, because that seems to be the go-to for a lot of them.
Being discussed as their ballistic missile program, their support of regional proxies like Hamas, the Houthis, and Hezbollah. And so the bottom line here is that the Iranians often say one thing publicly, and then at the negotiating table, they're begging the Americans for a deal because they understand that the United States and Israel could continue fighting for months. The Iranian regime each and every day during Operation Epic Fury was degraded, and it gives them a very limited ability to respond to any future U.S. or Israeli strikes. And so we often hear this propaganda from the Iranian regime. The reality is the Iranians are in the worst position they have been in decades.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you realize that we deleted all their toys. We deleted and yeeted that shit. We systematically fought back all their fake propaganda they kept trying to put out. They, for the most part, kept their foots in their mouths whenever it came to like the how could you do this to a race of people thing. They've tried propaganda pushing, but now that the strait's been taken over, they have no fucking money. They had their entire navy fucking sunk to the bottom and turned into coral reefs. You realize that and then now all their terrorist organizations all over the Middle East, like Hezbollah, are being systematically destroyed because Israel is sending in ground people and taking out all their big outposts. You understand that these people, like the IRGC and the Iranian regime, not the Iranians, are being systematically annihilated for maintaining a group of people for 47 years and being just a big pile of steaming shit. And they're just so shocked and surprised now that they're losing so massively that they can't even have a rebuttal for how badly they're losing because they don't have any money to get internet to put out more fake propaganda. Like, it's insane how badly these people are getting just obliterated. It's insane. It's crazy to think what the levels of just straight up annihilation that are happening is like unprecedented even. It's insane.
And even
it's
if
crazy.
Operation Epic Fury ended today, they'd be set back for a number of years. And this really speaks to the success of those U.S. strikes against the Iranian military infrastructure.
Yeah, they're losing $435 million a day. The Navy's at the bottom of the ocean. Military targets have been
That's not a Navy, bro. Those were meant to be coral reefs. The second that they sent those ships out to fight American Navy vessels, they knew full well what those things were. They were not ships. They were always meant to be coral reefs. They were meant to be fish food. They were meant to be coral reefs. That was their intense purpose from day one. They didn't know that, but they were repurposed, okay? It's okay. Look, sometimes you have to be the adult in the situation and be the parent and take the toys away from the child because they don't know what to do with them. And that's okay, you know? America's really good at doing that, you know? America's really good at going into a foreign country and just turning off the lights and turning off their economy. And then, you know, reallocating all of their toys into what they should be, which is a bunch of fucking coral reefs at the bottom of the ocean. Or a big smoldering pile of ash. I mean,
leadership is dead. They care a lot about, obviously, the economy. They were protesting when inflation was 40% in January. Now it's at 180%. Now, the president, I know for sure, is negotiating with the Iranians. They are hearing directly from President Trump, and he is telling them that there will be severe consequences if you do not open up the strait and you do not hand over the enriched uranium. So, Trey, it can be
dude,
done.
America is the best place in the world to live. It's the best place in the world. It's amazing here. I wake up in the morning, I smell the nice American smog, and I shit red, white, and blue. It's the best country in the world, boys.
Easy way or the hard way? And I imagine the hard way would be no more Karg Island.
Absolutely. President Trump has been very clear. The Iranians are either going to give up their highly enriched uranium at the negotiating table, or it's going to be taken from them. And the same goes for the Strait of Hormuz. Right now, the United States has successfully blockaded all Iranian ports near the Strait of Hormuz. When you speak about just how large this is, while the strait itself at its narrowest point is around 22 miles wide, we're talking about a lot of sea here.
What happens? Oh, wait. What happens? God damn this piece of shit. What happens when the bombs stop and Iran rebuilds? What happens when Iran inevitable use of terrorism against U.S. and our allies? Then you start cracking the sun over their civilization, and you turn everything into ash. Just like we did to Japan. That's what you do. How is this so hard to comprehend? You just keep cracking the sun over their infrastructure, over their buildings, and eventually they're going to stop. That's what you do. It's not difficult. We've already dealt with the race of people that had this mentality. They had kamikaze pilots and hand grenades that they would run at American soldiers with. And you know what we did? We only had to crack 2 suns over their civilization, and they kneeled. You act like this is something new. We've done it before.
And a lot of area to cover. And we heard yesterday that message that was sent out by the U.S. Navy to all vessels in the area, telling them very clearly, you do not have permission to enter or exit Iranian ports, and there could be consequences if vessels continue to do so. And those consequences would likely include U.S. Marines boarding these vessels and seizing them. And it just gives you a sense of how in control the United States is of this area, not just at sea, but also on land and over the skies of Iran. The Iranians, in just a matter of about 40 days, lost their ability to control the skies of their own country. The majority of their navy is currently sitting at the bottom of the sea. And you have a situation where even if the president in the future decided to order a limited ground operation to seize something like Karg Island, or even possibly get the enriched uranium in the hands of U.S. forces and remove it from the country, the Iranians would have very little in terms of options to respond or defend. And that, again, is a result of the successful U.S. strikes against the IRGC infrastructure and the power of the U.S. military. We
were never going to invade Japan, guy. We were never going to invade Japan. You know why we were never going to invade Japan? Because we had another nuke lined up. It's called the Demon Core. It would have been an even bigger bomb than the first 2 that we would have cracked over their city. They surrendered because they saw the fearsome power of what it looks like when you crack an atom in half on the surface of the planet. That's why they surrendered. They looked at their fellow countrymen and saw nothing but skin left and ash where their shadow was. People were hobbling into hospitals with their eyes seared from the brightness of the sun being cracked over their own civilization. You don't fight something like that. You live through it. You survive it. You learn from it. That's what you fucking do. You don't fight something like that. No different than the Maduro men that were on his detail that were supposed to protect him. And America went up in that bitch, turned off the lights, microwaved men from the inside out. Some of those guys were probably multi-fucking warriors, like badass killer warriors that got microwaved and got to hear their friends screaming and dying off into the darkness. And we rolled right past them as they were throwing up blood and bleeding out of their nose, and they couldn't do shit besides be the peasants that they were while we went and got their leader. That's what they were. When you fuck with something that's so technologically advanced and it shows its face, well, shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it. You scream death to America for 47 years. You capture and kill and torture American soldiers, and death comes knocking at your back door. Be thankful that Trump is holding back, Because we got shit that you ain't never seen before, that we haven't even used yet. We got bombs that would make stuff like what happened to Hiroshima and Nagasaki look like a fucking... it'd probably sink the goddamn island. Honestly. Probably sink them. Just be thankful that Trump is going easy.
All that when that pilot was rescued. Hundreds of U.S. forces on the ground inside of Iran. And when we got the details from President Trump, this was fascinating to hear. They sent in cargo planes with these U.S. forces, and they even had air defense systems that they were able to get on the ground inside of a remote.
Why is there an IRGC member shoving a piece of enriched uranium up a goat's ass? Bro.
The infrastructure needed for ground operations. And so, again, this just speaks to the ability of the U.S. military and the situation that Iran is currently in.
Along with the Israelis. Yeah. Thanks so much, Trey.
This president has ability to move the markets, I think, better than any other president before, because you see them panic at moments, and then he tells
how's it going,
them,
Fox
chill out.
Crusader?
You saw the S&P hit record high yesterday. You saw the price of crude oil go down, and we saw this when the tariffs first came out. There was panic, and then we saw record highs. And I think people are starting to realize that we have control, not just from a military standpoint, but a financial standpoint. China is now coming to the table to put some pressure on Iran, and they're freaking out. They were freaking out because of our military, but now they're freaking out because they, as you noted, Ainsley, the people are upset because they see this financial aspect of this getting ready to crumble down on their heads.
Yeah.
That's
Be
crazy.
sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox 1.
Ooh. Damn, so we took their straight. So we took the straight, and we're gonna go ahead and name that bitch the Strait of America now. So it's the Strait of America. And then Trump was like, they tried to get an extension on their peace talks, right? And then Trump was like, no.
See with the latest on Operation Epic Fury. Hey, Griff.
Hey, Nate and Carly, good morning. Here we go. The blockade entering day 4, and in just hours, War Secretary Pete Hegseth and Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane will hold their first briefing since that blockade of Iran's ports began on Monday. Now, so far, 10 vessels, including 9 oil tankers, have turned around as CENTCOM releases this audio of U.S. Navy warnings to commercial ships.
All vessels are advised to immediately return to port if leaving and discontinue transit to Iran if that is your next port of call. Do not attempt to breach the blockade. Vessels will be boarded for interdiction and seizure transiting to or from an Iranian port.
No. Japan is one of our greatest allies now. W Japan, by the way. Japan is awesome. I'm going to go to Japan one day.
Turn around and prepare to be boarded. If you do not comply with this blockade, we will use force. The whole...
Ooh, they're not fucking around, man. They're not fucking around. Ooh, I love it. Go get them, boys.
Interdiction and seizure transiting to or from an Iranian port. Turn around and prepare to be boarded. If you do not comply with this blockade, we will use force. The whole of the United States Navy is ready to force compliance. Now.
Bro, they are not fucking around, dude. They are not fucking around. They wanted to take the Strait of Hormuz. They wanted to sit there and play this bullshit. Man, ain't it a beautiful thing?
Meanwhile, at the White House, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying the administration is unleashing the economic version of Operation Epic Fury to bring Iran's economy to its knees.
Bro, it ain't going to its knees. That thing about the face plant if it keeps doing this.
Told countries that if you are buying Iranian oil, that if Iranian money is sitting in your banks, we are now willing to apply secondary sanctions, which is a very stern measure.
Holy shit. So wait a minute. Hold on. Let me lay this all out for everybody. So they took the strait. They are boarding vessels that are Iranian flagged, or vessels that they know have Iranians on it for the regime. They have frozen all the banks, and now they are implementing sanctions on any money to and from Iran. Holy fuck, this is brutal. Damn. Man, I didn't expect this. Yo, W administration. Damn, I did not expect that at all.
The Iranians should know that this is going to be the financial equivalent of what we saw in the kinetic activities.
Besson also telling our Peter Ducey he's, quote, optimistic Americans can see $3 gas again by late September if the straits are fully open. Now this as Secretary of State Rubio holding a meeting with representatives from Israel and Lebanon to start potential talks about a potential ceasefire. President Trump posting on Truth Social after a
Damn,
meeting.
even Lebanon is selling them out. Even Lebanon is selling out the Houthis. Or Hamas. They're selling out the Hamas. I don't know why the fuck I said. Why did I say fucking who? Like, why did I say that? They're selling out Hamas. So Lebanon wants to make a deal with America, so they're selling out Hamas. That's crazy. Bro, like I said, you let America clean up all your problems, man, it's going to be a paradise there. Just let America go in there and take these people out for you, man. Just let it happen.
Trying to get
Don't worry, we'll get rid of that nasty infection you've acquired.
Breathing room between Israel and Lebanon. It has been a long time since the two leaders have spoken, like 34 years. It will happen tomorrow. Nice, President DJT. But Nate and Carly, the BBC is reporting this morning that Lebanon is denying any knowledge of historic peace talks that the president referred to in that post. So we'll see where this goes. Nate and Carly.
Oh boy, we certainly will. All right, Griff Jenkins.
Yeah, I think Canada's finally snapping out of it. I hope they snap out of it.
Later this hour, White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly will join us to share the latest on the war efforts in Iran. The White House confirming they will not be extending a ceasefire with Iran. Press Secretary Caroline
$2.99 is pretty good.
During a briefing. Take a listen.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm used to like $5 a gallon. That's what I grew up around. So like $2.99 is still pretty good. You still got like almost what, $2 in there? You got some wiggle room. Shit.
I'm reporting,
a lot of wiggle room in that bitch.
Reporting this morning that we had formally requested an extension of the ceasefire. That is not true at this moment. We've remained very much engaged in these negotiations, in these talks. You heard from the vice president directly.
Where are you staying at? Like, what state are you in that it's over $5? Because if it's California, there's a reason for it. Climate taxes? That sounds like bullshit. That sounds like bullshit.
That these conversations are productive and ongoing. And
I don't know about Washington. I know that California gets their gas from. There's only 2 refineries in the world that make the gas that go to California in one other state. Maybe it's Washington. I know California crying right now, boy. Ooh, they crying right now with how much they got to pay on gas. Yeah, I think it's above $5 a gallon. It's crazy high there.
White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly joins me now. Anna, thank you so much for joining us. So it was Tuesday when the president said that the next round of U.S.-Iran peace talks could happen over the next 2 days. Can you give us an update on that timing?
Well, those talks are certainly under discussion. As Caroline, you just played it, said yesterday, these conversations ongoing. The president feels that they are productive, but they're also aided by the fact that this president...
J.D. Vance didn't feel like they were very productive. Why the hell did they make J.D. Vance go all the way to what was it, like Saudi Arabia? If they couldn't even give a yes or no answer on peace, that they had to return back to their leader, whoever the hell that is. Now, what are we doing?
Has leveraged, I heard you guys talk about it, an extremely successful blockade on Iranian ports. Now,
maybe they thought they were going to try to get J.D. Vance, but then they realized that his detail was way too heavily armored, and they were like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. It makes me wonder. It makes you wonder.
It only applies to vessels traveling in and out of Iranian ports, and this has totally neutralized not only the threat that Iran has tried to pose on the free flow of energy in the Strait of Hormuz, it's also crushing them economically. And what this is also doing, the president's preference is always diplomacy. The president tried that before Operation Epic Fury. He's trying it again because the bottom line is Iran can never possess a nuclear weapon, but it's also ensuring that our negotiators can have maximum leverage in these negotiations, because again, Iran, a country that has chanted death to America for 47 years, can never have a nuclear weapon.
I'm so happy they're saying this. Say it like it is, guys. Stop being scared of everything. This is legacy media. Ain't no fucking child supposed to be watching Fox television, boys. You gotta be fucking saying that shit. I love that they're saying it like it is now. I love it. Whenever I hear a news broadcaster on Fox saying the shit that Asmongold would be saying, I know I'm in the right damn place. I know I'm in the right place. Because it's the goddamn truth. And it's about time we got some of these legacy media people stepping up to the plate and being like they're supposed to be. It's about time.
Is going to ensure that happens one way or another, and I'm sure the United States and certainly Iran would prefer that happen through diplomatic measures.
Yeah, well, the naval blockade on the strait is holding, and according to one estimate published by the Wall Street Journal, this could cost Iran approximately $435 million a day, including 276.
Good, fuck them. That's what you get. That's what you get after we take all your toys away, and you still want to sit there and act like you big dog or king shit, Billy. Well, guess what? Now that your shit's getting taken away and your economy's about to fucking crash, and you already, apparently, I don't know how true this is, but apparently some of the, I guess, rebels in Iran have started taking over, like, synagogues and shit. So, like, because you have to keep in mind that these people are literally fighting for their lives. These, the Iran regime, the IRGC. Because if the people take over the IRGC, they're going to kill them. And if they keep doing what they're doing, America's going to kill them. And so is Israel. So, like, these people are stuck literally between a rock and a hard place. Because if they surrender to the Iranian people are going to slaughter them. Because of how many people, how many loved ones they've been killed, have been killed in the wake of all this nonsense. So these people are literally fighting. That's probably the primary reason why they haven't surrendered yet, the IRGC and the regime that is currently occupying Iran, is because they know that either way they're going to be sentenced to death. They know this. And they don't have anything to offer to the table, so they're going to keep doing what they're doing.
Million in lost exports. Those are big numbers for a country that is already struggling economically for obvious reasons. Is it the belief of the White House that Iran will ultimately choose its economy over its nuclear program?
Well, as the president said, Iran desperately wants to make a deal. Of course, they were absolutely annihilated. Their navy's at the bottom of the ocean. Their ballistic missiles are destroyed in every possible way by Operation Epic Fury. So they're desperate to make a deal. But the question is whether or not they're willing to make a deal that is acceptable to the United States. Of course, that means the president's red line is they can never possess a nuclear weapon. Again, a country that has chanted death to America, death to Israel for 47 years.
Thank you so much. Keep saying it, girl. Keep spitting that knowledge. Keep spitting it, because it's the fucking truth. Keep spitting it.
Can never be allowed to threaten our homeland, threaten our troops ever again. So again, those
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Conversations continue, and it's certainly aided by the fact that the Strait of Hormuz is open because our United States Navy is ensuring that Iran cannot further extort the entire world through subverting the free flow of energy in the Strait.
Well, the president wrote on Truth Social yesterday, China is very happy that I am permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. I'm doing it for them, also in the world. The situation will never happen again. They have agreed not to send weapons to Iran. On that last part, tell us what you can about those behind-the-scenes conversations ahead of President Trump's visit to China next month.
Well, of course, I can't detail the president's private conversations without his permission. He kind of did so there. But I think the broader point is the entire world is benefiting from what the president is doing. Again, as he said, the United States has unleashed American energy. America now produces more oil than anybody else in the world. And the result of this blockade, by the way, is a lot of those tankers that were once going to Iranian ports. Now they're coming to the big, beautiful Gulf of America to buy American oil. So
that's right. We about to make some money, boys. We about to make some money. They coming to Gulf of America to get that oil. Someone in the comments, it was either yesterday or the day before, were saying that they sending over tankers to the Gulf of America that are empty so that way they can fill them bitches up with oil. Boys, we about to make some money. We about to sell some oil, boys.
These conversations continue. Of course, the president is engaged with countries all around the world who are very grateful for what he's doing, because while the United States does not need the Strait of Hormuz, the United States alone can secure the Strait of Hormuz because we have the most powerful military in the world for the benefit of all of our fellow countries.
And finally, just
Hey, you know why? You know why that is? Because their shit sucks. Bro, the Royal British Navy's in like disrepair. You know the rest of those countries are cooked, right?
The president is going to visit Vegas.
Hell, prior to us sending a whole bunch of coral reefs to the bottom of the ocean, the Iranian Navy was bigger than the fucking British Royal Navy.
Today for a rally, Phoenix tomorrow. Tell us what the message there will be.
Yes, well, the president is very excited to partake in a West Coast swing today and tomorrow. As you said, he will travel to Nevada today and Arizona tomorrow. Nevada now is the birthplace of no tax on tips. Of course, there are thousands and thousands of Americans who work in the service industry who yesterday, when they filed their taxes, are seeing big dividends.
Did they really? Did they actually try to send a ship and it broke down half? Dude, that's sad.
Standard deduction has increased tremendously. Tax refunds have increased. And certainly that is to the benefit of service industry.
Yo, I've been hearing a lot of people be getting a lot of money back on their taxes this year. I thought it was bullshit, but the more I'm hearing, the more I'm like, oh, wow, I'm surprised. Apparently that's a thing.
Who are benefiting directly from no tax on tips. So the president is excited to return to that very special state, a state that he won tremendously, to highlight his economic agenda, bringing more money, greater prosperity back to Americans in Nevada, in Arizona, and all across the country.
White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly, we thank you so much for your time and for joining us.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube.
One more video. Let's see what else we got here. By the way, if you're new here, sub to the channel. Hit like on the stream, helps out with them views. Stick around. I'm here every single day, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. So please stick around. We're here every single day. Every single one of them days, boys. If you miss the stream, don't worry about it. The streams are always up. Always up. Do we have any new news reports? What is this? Let's see. What is this?
Joining us now, Markwayne Mullin joins us for the first interview since leaving the Senate for his new role as DHS Secretary. Mr. Secretary, it's great to see you. How's that campus up there?
Yeah.
White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller, the one and only, is with us. It really is simple. This president, if you just listen to him, he tells it like it is. You either do it the hard way or the easy way. You either give up your 60% enriched uranium the easy way, or we'll take it. You open the Strait of Hormuz, or we will open it for you, and we will destroy your economy, as we are currently giving them a preview of coming attractions with the, blockade. So far, they always pick the wrong door. Door number one, door number two. They always pick the wrong door.
President Trump is a man who doesn't bluff. He is a man who...
And you know what the crazy part about this is that once they're in so much debt that they're never going to come back from it, it's going to be harder for them to use the Iranian dollar to buy any new weapons as well. So, like, even if by some miraculous miracle we don't get what I want from them, which is the unconditional surrender that was said at the very beginning, I feel like if America left after the 2 weeks, or after Tuesday, I don't even think they would be able to have the funding without resetting their entire economy with a new type of dollar. Like, I don't think it's possible. Like, 430 something million a day, that's a fuckload of money. Their currency is going to be completely worthless. It's going to be nothing.
Follows through on what he said.
They're not even going to be able to buy new equipment. They'd have to have it given to them.
Acts in every case with courage, resilience, determination, vision, focus, and direction. He warned Maduro. Maduro did not heed those warnings.
I still want anything that isn't the unconditional surrender of the IRGC and the regime that is over Iran is unacceptable. I still consider it a total fail, by the way. Just so that way we're all clear, anything that isn't that, I don't consider a win. I've got a high standard for this because of the people that the Iranians that this fucking IRGC regime has killed. I've got a way higher standard than this that I'm sure Trump does. Anything less than an unconditional surrender and the complete surrender of the IRGC to the Iranian people is a total fail in my book. It means that it was all for nothing. Straight up.
And now look what happened. Look at the operation that took place in Venezuela. He warned before Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer happened because the Iranians did not heed those warnings. Before Operation Epic Fury, he gave Iran a chance to do the right thing. They declined, and they sustained the greatest battlefield defeat, thrashing, military annihilation we've seen in modern history. Then, after the ceasefire, President Trump said, make a deal. The Iranian terms were not satisfactory, and so President Trump flipped the tables.
And it's funny because part of the ceasefire deal that they had already broke to this was to open the Strait of Hormuz, which they didn't do. And now that America blockaded that shit and is doing what it wants with the strait now, they're cooked. They're dumbasses. You're cooked.
On Iran and implemented this naval blockade. And with this blockade, President Trump is resetting the entire global order because he is saying with our Navy, we can decide, and we alone can decide how rogue regimes are able to finance themselves, how they are able to operate. That's the power of American naval might, Sean.
Yep.
Do you
and
agree?
we can't even use our allies to help us with this. Well, we don't know how if Japan is disheveled or not. We know Britain's completely fucking useless. Like, who knows how many of these other allies, like, how many of them have let their navies and their militaries turn to shit? How many of them have no longer, like, how many of them have less navy than the Iranian regime did prior to them getting sunk, you know? It makes you wonder, like, how much they depend on American money and American, like, military across the world when it comes to NATO and stuff. It kind of blows your mind if you start really digging into it, I feel like.
This is a preview of coming attractions that the president is showing the Iranians whatever tier of leadership is left, that you will not have an economy. And it probably would take our military, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, maximum 3 hours to wipe out Karg Island, which would wipe out their entire economy. They're getting a taste of it now. So I would think that common sense at some point has to prevail. I am told the president also is engaged personally now on the issue, and he is being blunt, like only Donald Trump can be. Can you confirm that?
Yes, so I can confirm that President Trump is very much involved in negotiations as commander-in-chief.
That's the best part about Trump taking office, is that there is no lack of transparency. Trump says he wants to do something and then he does it. And he says it like as a press conference too. There is no lack of transparency with this president. And it takes away the media's power to turn the narrative against the president of the United States and the administration. It does. It takes that power away. And it's a beautiful thing. It is. It's a wonderful thing.
Along, of course, with the negotiating team that he assembled that has done such an incredible job.
And there are more and more legacy broadcasters that are coming to terms with that fact. And that's a good thing, by the way. You want your president to be transparent. You want to know what's going on.
In time. And he's been clear. President Trump is a man of peace.
Yeah, besides the
President
Epstein
Trump wants
files.
peace.
I mean,
President Trump wants stability. But President Trump has also been clear. America will not be trifled with, America will not be bullied, and America will never, ever, ever be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran. Not now, not ever. And he has made that crystal clear, painfully clear to the Iranians. And so, yes, to your point, as President Trump has said, the United States has all of the cards. Iran has none. A military operation could wipe out their energy infrastructure for generations. He's made clear he doesn't want to do that. He wants Iran to choose the right path to make a deal. This embargo is squeezing the economic life out of the Iranian regime, and the United States has the capacity.
I don't think Trump said once during this entire thing that America was losing anything. I don't think he said once that we had lost anything in the American war. I mean, in the Iran war. I don't think he did at all. I know a lot of people were mad that Iran took the Strait, but I think the world needed to learn a lesson about what happens if a bunch of terrorists are able to control something. I mean, let's be honest here.
To continue this indefinitely. If Iran
they took national water. That's literally what they did, because it's national water. So they took that national water over, and then America was like, yoink. Like, straight up.
President Trump knows something else. He knows that American oil is the most important currency in the world, and that is why when he came into office, he unleashed American energy as never before, and that's why you see all of these ships coming to America empty and leaving laden with American energy.
Do you agree with me that the odds of a reconfigured NATO
Like, you realize that these people are getting their asses handed to them so hard, they can't even let their own leader come out of his hidey hole in fear of death to do peace talks? Do you understand how badly these people are getting beat back? They had a cardboard cutout of one of them at one point, and they were like kissing a chair like it had somebody in it. Like, do you understand the level of like just absolute destruction in fear that you have to have as a leader to not do a press conference talking shit about a foreign country that you bombed the night before like Trump is doing? I mean, holy shit. Talk about having your ass cut off, handed to you on a silver platter. Like, holy fuck. It's crazy.
America pulling out of NATO are very high as a result of our so-called allies not even offering a little support as we take on a nuclear-armed Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror. I think their response has been repulsive.
It's been incredibly disappointing, and President Trump has spoken about this problem for years. First of all...
And you know what's crazy is you can't go based on that. There's already IRGC members that are shaving their beards and running. That happened whenever the war first originally started. The IRGC members were shaving their beards and fleeing the country with their passports in hand. There was a conga line of them, of a picture that was taken of them fleeing fleeing Iran. Look here. You could have 30 leaders that all say that they're willing to die for their cause, but I guarantee you, if you keep vaporizing enough of those leaders, you're going to have one out of 30 of those men that are in that line that are going to say, nope. Nope. Nuh-uh. I'm good. So how you want to do this? You want me to like lay down arms? How do you want to come into my country? I mean, into your country. How do you want to do this? It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have that one person that's not willing to die because of my, like, it's all fun and games. Oh, I'm willing to die for this until people start dying. Just like Japan. They committed seppuku whenever the generals were losing ground in foxholes. The generals that would control that land would do themselves in, right? They would kamikaze pilot into Navy ships like what happened in Pearl Harbor. They would light grenades and run at people, but not everybody has that mentality. Not every person in that country has that I'm willing to die mentality like a lot of them like to preach. Some of them do. I'll give it to them. Some of them do. But I bet your bottom dollar, a lot more of them don't.
A nuclear-armed Iran, an Iran with medium-range or long-range ballistic missiles tipped with nuclear warheads is a direct threat to every capital in Europe.
Exactly. If they kill 45,000 Iranian protesters that weren't armed, running from people with quad bikes and four-wheelers, getting mowed down with ARs. What the hell do you think this regime's going to do to the rest of the world? What the fuck do you think they're going to do to everybody else? Put 2 and 2 together, folks. Let's do a little bit of math. But they're already launching ICBMs with non-nuclear warheads into the heart of Israel. What do you think they would have done if they had the capabilities of hitting America? They're using these forms of terrorism to keep people too scared to rise up against them. No more. No more.
We are doing this not only in defense of America, but in defense of the free world.
Oh shit, it sticks.
And NATO doesn't want to help.
Late,
NATO
man.
doesn't want to assist. The same NATO that the United States has been
that makes sense.
subsidizing with
That's
our
fair.
taxpayer dollars for generations, the entire European welfare state was built off the backs of American military might. We invested in our military.
Thank you. Jesus, fuck, it's so nice to hear somebody talking about this. So nice to hear somebody talking about this. You have no idea. We need to leave NATO. We need to get the hell out of that shit, bro. NATO is completely useless now. Whenever America is the one that is the major backbone supplying all the money and military force, they should be paying us. Like, straight up, they need to be paying us. We need to, like, make the United States Armed Forces, and what they can do, what countries can do, is pay us like a mafia group to, like, protect them. That's what needs to happen. Seriously. Whenever I hear the British Royal Navy is on the verge of being completely sank, and they don't even have enough dinghies to, like, combat something like the Iran Navy, I'm sorry, bro. You've had your time. You've had your golden age. It's over for you. You're cooked. Your politics have led to the single-handedly to the complete uselessness of your Navy. You can't be trusted to run anything. I'm sorry. Pay America and we'll take care of it.
Subsidizing with our taxpayer dollars for generations, the entire European welfare state was built off the backs of American military might. We invested in our military while they invested in their welfare state. And
I remember back whenever I used to think, well, we could take away from the military budget. I'm so happy we put so much money into the military budget. Because we can go around and stop a bunch of terrorists that are killing a bunch of innocent people. I have never had my eyes opened as wide as they have been in the past, 2 years. It's crazy to me.
Long weekends and their long holidays, all paid for by us, by our soldiers, by our Marines, by our
Exactly! Bro, based!
Our military, while they invested in their welfare state. And their long weekends, and their long...
He talk about all them dumbasses with that fucking... yeah, like I said, he's the welfare states. Giving all our taxpayer dollars to all those fucking scammers, bro. Shit's crazy.
Holidays.
And they get to go on all these holidays. You get to have a holiday because the American Armed Forces built this country, bitch. You wouldn't have no damn holiday. You wouldn't even be where you're at. It'd be another communist country, bro. Ain't no immigrant built this country. American Armed Forces built and protect this country. All these damn these senators and all these governors saying, well, immigrants built this country. Oh, they built this country. No, they didn't. Wouldn't be no damn country without the military, dumbass. Wouldn't be nothing. How you think you get to sit there and buy your own home and own a gun and enforce the Constitution? Wouldn't be no damn Constitution without the military, dumb fuck. The military built this country. Wouldn't be no New York without the military. Wouldn't be no Minneapolis without the military. Wouldn't be no damn California without the military.
For by us, by our soldiers, by our Marines, by our airmen, our sailors. And President Trump has said the free ride is over, Sean. But the most important
Damn straight
right now is seeing this mission through to completion. And again, President Trump has made clear he wants peace, he wants a deal, he wants Iran to choose the right path, but he will not allow Iran to pursue or...
More words that don't mean anything. You know what? You're right. So I'll just let the devastation of what America does to countries that scream death to America show for itself. I don't have to bring up AI-generated videos to push a narrative. I'll just show what it looks like. I don't mind showing a bunch of terrorist huts getting blown up. It's another day in a beautiful country.
Path, but he will not allow Iran to pursue or achieve nuclear weapons. And this embargo and every other option is on the table.
Because at the end of the day, I don't expect somebody that's too weak to morally comprehend why America is doing this to fight in something like this. I expect somebody that has the cojones and the mentality of a non-5-year-old or somebody that has this child mentality of why can't we all get along to make sure that America stays America and not some foreign country. I'll let the people that need to be where they're at and are currently where they need to be, which is our administration, handle the future of our kids. Because I would never expect somebody that disagrees what's going on with this to understand it, comprehend it, or much less fight for the future of the generations that are going to come after us. I expect you to sit there and be a keyboard warrior and do nothing for your community except advocate for terrorism and death of American countrymen. That's what I expect from you. And while you sit there and cry and bitch and complain about it, the dedicated, hard-working soldiers that built this fucking country are going to go out there and stop these terrorists. And you can sit there behind your little keyboard and be thankful every day you're allowed to have this opposing opinion because of our military and because of the country that you live in. You can sit there and have your opposing opinion, because if you did that shit in China, if you did that shit in North Korea, you'd be removed from the fucking gene pool. Wouldn't be no more you. Be thankful you live in this country, and be thankful it is the country that it is. Anytime you see a soldier, a veteran, you shake that dude's hand, because you should know that this country is the way it is because of his hard work, dedication, and the loss of his friends around him, sometimes even family around him. His blood, sweat, and tears and loss is what built this country and made it the way it is today. Not some fucking immigrant.
As President Trump seeks that final, safe, secure outcome for the people of the world.
All right, Stephen Miller, thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with Me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.
All right, boys. Unfortunately, that is it for the stream. We're gonna do another. We're gonna do the fish stream after this. I don't know what it's gonna be today. Yesterday we had deers, and it was still the African outback. We'll probably get another African outback. It's probably gonna be the same place. Hopefully the deers are still there. I'm hoping the deers are still there. I hope it's not just noises. Kind of sad whenever all I see is noises. It's fine. It's relaxing. But I want to see some animals, man. I want to talk about jerky again. I like jerky. All right, boys. If you're new here, sub to the channel. Hit like on the stream. We're here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Every single day. I was even here on Easter. Please sub to the channel. It helps. Every like and new sub helps. Check out the channel membership. The channel membership is Big W. Let me get the music going. Hold on. We'll do this one again. You know what? Nah, we'll do this one. All right. Stay away from crazy people. I've noticed that it's contagious. We might end up pulling you up and making fun of you. I will start another stream up after this, so stick around for that if you want to get the calm after the storm. You know what I'm saying? We also try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day, their whole life. You never know. And I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. If not, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Stay friendly. W all the gifters. W channel members. W constant viewers. W people that hit like on the stream. Y'all are all awesome. Keep being you. We're going to be back in a little bit. Peace, boys.
Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do